Howdy folks, and welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition D&D campaign. I'm Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master for the evening, and joining me, as always, I have Matt, Dan, Hannah, oh god, I got so close and I almost said Ari, Alana, and Tina. Whew, it has been a week, let me tell you that. So, yeah, I'm so tired. Thank you for joining us. A couple of announcements before we get started with this D&D game. We have an Instagram, at Alberon RPG. We do actually no hand-drawn maps really anymore. They're all 3D terrain and cool fancy stuff. It is hard to see. We do have a battle cam, and it is mounted now on the ceiling, so it is a straight down view. Right now you're just looking at a table, so really not a whole lot to look at, but, and that's him. But to see those things in a little bit more detail, a great place to go, Instagram, at Alberon RPG. Mosaic Team 5 was last night, session 3. Thank you for joining if you did. If you have not, definitely check out Mosaic Team 5 next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are shopping in a mall, but it's a space mall.
Space Mall.
Space Mall. So that's
5,000 stores.
what?
5,000
Yeah, a lot of stores. There is a website, alberonrpg.com. The Dungeoneer's Guide to Dominion is a lore-setting document that is now up to 104 pages, was updated 2 days ago. There are 26 magical items, including ones from this campaign, such as the Maker. Other things that are no longer with the party, unfortunately. But lots of different cool objects that are really steeped in the lore of Alberon and Dominion in particular. So check that out, alberonrpg.com. Also up on Instagram this week is the art for Eleanor, which is super cool, done for us by Alana. There's going to be some more art from Alana coming in the next couple weeks, so that's super cool. There's some battle scenes coming. There's actually a lot of art in the pipeline. Also this week from Sophie Bischoff, if you check out our Instagram, at AlberonRPG, you can see a beautiful painting of Glub, lonely in the abandoned cloud giant temple in Yorn, sadly looking at a pond he is forbidden from being a part of. Really beautiful. It's so nice. So that's super cool. And then we have another project with Sophie on the way as well. We are in a relatively new space. This is the second week that we've been using it kind of full time. It's awesome being able to not set all this stuff up. Usually I have to carry tables, like lighting, all kinds of stuff. It is super nice, and the support that we get from people who are watching is really what makes that possible. Subscriptions, bits, all those things, they make things like this significantly easier. When we began this stream, I was working on a teacher's salary, and it was tough. So thank you very much for all that support, all the minis, that kind of thing, Hero Forge, etc. And finally, we are using Sirenscape to play this jazz, this wee, like waiting music. Sirenscape is a digital tool set that you can use. Not a sponsor.
Definitely not Nintendo.
Definitely not. They're a great digital tool set you can use to add sound effects, and all kinds of things into your games. And with that, to get us into our recap, let me just bring up some music. How's that on volume?
Seems pretty good.
Okay. Just don't want to blast your ears out.
Oh. Just in case.
Adventurers, last that we played. You began by reparking your ship by the docks, realizing hastily that perhaps a pond in the park was not the ideal place for a never-before-seen flying ship. It caused quite a traffic jam in the upper Sinoso quadrant of Dungannon. You paid some fines related to that decision, and Akka transported Glub invisibly to the Dungannon Antiquities Collective. Akka, you visited Drea, who chided you but gave you a mechanical exoskeleton-like back brace of sleek artifice design. It has limbs that can retract into it when not in use. You left Glub with Mr. Gift, who vowed to find a use for him after a false start, having him organize books when Glub really can't read. Eleanor, you mailed a letter to your parents, and then stopped at Calessian's Golden Exchange. There you used Thieves' Cant to access several items of an extra-legal nature. Ultimately, you bought a small golden scarab with a crystal beaker wrapped in gold wire as the body. Attaching this to yourself will, upon reaching 0 health, inject itself into you, um, healing but also breaking at the same time. You also find that Calestian would very much like to obtain some glowing blue crystal shards from the aberrations that find their layers within the twisted region of the Badlands called the Warp. You all departed, with Oakfeld having crafted a rustic wind chime that clunked along as you sailed through the sky south towards the Kua-Tar Badlands. Sorry, towards the Kua-Tar Dig. Akka, use this time to finally fill Eleanor in on the true nature of your mission. To topple a mind flayer lich known as Zystris. Ageless, deathless, nigh invincible across the ages. Eleanor, you made an abrupt stop at a roadside pub owned by Winkelrick, an older halfling missing an index finger. He recognized your distress as you came in with a lot of energy and sold you an entire bottle of Captain Emerald Bane's spiced rum. You returned to the sky and drank more as you flew, eventually taking a relatively smooth landing, as instead of digging the ship into wood, it was sand. You arrived at the edge of the Kua-Tar Dig, long abandoned, and decided to rest when it was clear that no plan had been made. Eleanor laid the law down, drank most of the bottle, with Akka contributing a fair amount, and then went to sleep. Drunken, restful sleep. The evening was early, and so despite all agreeing to wait until morning, Akka, Shay, and Oakfeld, you all immediately, within 5 minutes, made your way down to the 80-foot dig, flying, leaping, and for some of you, slowly walking down these decaying stairs and walkways. And you stood before a giant open door, or a pair of doors that lead into a dark space where tops of buildings emerge from the sand within. At this point, you all agreed that enough was enough. You had made your plan after all, so you'd return to the ship. It'd be foolish to go down this path, down 2 of your party at night. Akka and Shay, you flew and leapt up from the pit, leaving Oakfeld to sadly walk up again. But a voice called from the darkness. The Green Matron. She spoke to you, bidding you regain your honor from within the dark, her words soft and quiet, like a gentle autumn breeze or crisp leaves on the ground, or perhaps a quiet, final breath. You walked on, with Akka and Shay noticing and attempting to intervene. When they were unsuccessful and Oakfeld insisted on traveling down and into the dark, Akka raced back to retrieve Brenna and Eleanor. With Brenna in tow, Akka raced back, trusting that Eleanor could find her way down without issue. Eleanor, absolutely blackout drunk at this stage, took several minutes to struggle off the ship before sliding, falling, swinging, and toppling down 80 feet of stairs, walkways, scaffolds, posts, and rope.
Am I good?
Dazed, you realize the darkness below. You are almost blind and very drunk. Luckily, Akka called out to you from the darkness, helping you find your way. You all eventually found your way down, with Melora reminding Oakfeld of Akka's crimes against nature. Finally, after a long time, a drunken Eleanor staggered into your midst and demanded, using every ounce of authority she could muster through the alcohol and pain-induced haze, that you return to the ship and sleep. With a natural 20, and using your panache, you did more than charm Oakfeld. Oakfeld, you felt the sensation on the back of your brain suddenly vanish, that cold pressure replaced with a warm breeze, sourceless in the dark here, suddenly ruffling the fur growing down your forehead in your primal form, as if to say, it's okay to wait. Wordless, the meaning still carried through true. You all returned to the ship and attained some level of rest. Eleanor, a chilling voice spoke to you in the dark. Through the stupor, even, you could hear and understood its message. Look at these idiots. They're going to lead you to your death. Akka, you managed to ward off the push of a foreign presence into your mind, but you felt it still, looming like a giant specter or portent of doom over the ship, its hand outstretched as if ready to swat your craft flat. And that's where we're going to begin this evening. So just give me 1 second to pull up some music for you guys. Da-da-da-da.
Did Brenna encounter any of this feeling of like the presence?
So interestingly enough, what's your intelligence score?
12.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. It's dark. The early hours of the night still passing by, but most of you finding sleep. The one exception, really, aside from you in your kind of trance-like state. Brenna. Everybody else returned, found sleep. You'd found a little bit of sleep, and if you want, you have a couple minutes just to kind of attend to anything you need to. No worries.
I think I'm all set.
You can find rest. Akka, as you sleep, you're aware of the fact that the whole ship breathes deeply, softly. Everyone's asleep. Nobody's watching. You can all mark off a long rest as you pass through the night without issue. But for you, Akka, you feel uneasy. And several times throughout the night, you wake up almost swearing you could see eyes in the darkness. As morning dawns, Akka, you are awake first, as you only sleep 4 hours. What are you doing as the rest slumber?
Well, I'm gonna...
Just so you're aware, you're coming to at like 2 in the morning. You guys are way off in terms of your circadian rhythm.
Well, I want to take a better look at this all-purpose tool.
I thought you were going to say, I want to take a better look at this cave while everybody's sleeping.
Right
It's
back.
like, man, I just made this such an ominous read-in, and you're just going to go right back into the cave?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop back down.
Just really missed the split party element
Yeah.
here.
Hop back down and go check it out.
I'm going to call Mr. Gift, see if you can drop glove off. So,
Yeah, we're gonna go look together.
you remove from your bag this exoskeleton-like back brace. It goes along the edge of your spine. You can see areas that look like they might kind of pinch into your skin, maybe even into your spinal column itself. You will imagine putting this on not the least painful thing. That being said, it is wondrous in its design. The mechanics of it, you can see hydraulics, working with some kind of fluid you've never seen before. It seems to almost flow against gravity, and that articulating these arms that would generally be too hard for you to lift on your own. What do you want to investigate about it?
I guess I just want to like, I don't know, figure out all of its capabilities.
Okay. You take about an hour of examining it, just checking things out about it and what you find. Give me just one moment. This back brace, all the different arms on it have different tools. You have essentially all artisan's tools at your disposal at the same time. Whatever form this takes, however you want to manipulate these arms, whenever you want to, you can retract them. The only thing being, there'll still be a steel spine on you. With your armor, it wouldn't really stick out that much.
Okay.
But you can retract it and not be Doc Ock, if you want to
Right.
be.
Like
While holding this tool, you gain a bonus to the spell attack rolls and the saving throw DCs of your artificer spells. The bonus is determined by the tool's rarity, and that is a +2 bonus.
okay.
As an action, you can focus on the tool to channel your creative forces. Choose a cantrip that you don't know from any class list. For 8 hours, you can cast that cantrip, and it counts as an artificer cantrip for you. Once this property is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. So just as a heads up, what that means, when you use it to learn light, you can cast light as much as you want for 8 hours, but then you can't use it again until the next dawn. Yeah,
Can you swap out the cantrips? Or
cannot.
it's just the one.
just the one.
Okay.
Choose
That
with
was the question.
caution.
I think I
But
have
any spell list,
any spell list.
yeah,
Any spell list.
literally any. An hour has passed. Are you doing anything else?
I think I'm just trying to figure out what's the next move. This seems like we're heading into the mouth of the beast here. There's got to be, because it seems kind of like a futile effort, but just kind of like mulling these things over.
Fair enough. In the dark, you think the shadows grow long, and you realize the sun is rising. Right around then, actually, really right before that, technically, most of you are beginning to find consciousness. Right around 5 in the morning. At around 6 o'clock, all of you have found consciousness and find yourself relatively awake. Eleanor, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Will do. Okay, that's actually pretty good. So I'm not completely dead. That's exciting.
Probably thanks to those sips of water that Anka was eating.
Yeah. That's a 17.
Stay
Yeah,
hydrated.
life-saving water.
Always
Yeah.
stay hydrated.
You wake up and you feel like shit. Your head hurts. You go to move your arm. It's stiff in ways that you don't expect. Not just from being hungover. You have a vague remembrance of the sensation of falling. But all you can remember is dark. You're not sure if it was a dream or not. But it hurts. You go to open your mouth. You can taste blood. You feel like you've been in multiple fights.
Why am I so dirty? What happened? I just kind of like try to like straighten myself up as much as I can.
Yeah, sure. So you start to kind of straighten yourself up. All the rest of you are awake. As the sun rises, the dig kind of beckons beyond. And for you especially, Oakfeld, you would remember Melora calling to you. What would you all like to do?
Well,
Good morning, Captain. You feeling better?
fine. Fine.
I think Brenna's like prepared some breakfast for Eleanor and is just like, you might need this.
Thank
How'd
you.
you sleep?
Thank you.
At one point, Brenna, you went downstairs into this little cargo hold just to see what was going on, just making sure everybody was okay before you went to sleep. And you saw Eleanor like face in the planks, like butt in the air, kind of like kneeling over, like she kind of like was trying to sit up at one point and then just passed out straight down. You see, as you're like, how are you feeling? This like distinct kind of red mark here that's probably going to become a bruise. Yeah.
Okay. No. No, please.
I would just say Oakfeld's probably just staring across from the ship, just looking at the temple, just longingly.
Okay. Make a perception check.
8 plus 8, 16.
You look down at the dig and you're still just kind of waking up. You know, you can see the darkness beckoning beyond. You remember the flowers, the voice, the feeling of being so close to your patron, but you don't see much.
Shay awake, up, down at the ship. Alright. So, how are you feeling? You feeling better?
I'm just gonna move my eyes to momentary glance at Akka
Ooh.
and then just glance back at the temple.
So, given last night's occurrence, I was thinking maybe trying to find alternative means of entrance.
You mean to the tunnel? Or-
To the tomb temple,
Ah.
which may be at the end of the tunnel.
So, not through the tunnel.
I'm not feeling like that is the best option.
What'd you have in mind? Like, do you think there might be another tunnel around the back?
We're gonna take the back tunnel. It's got to be fire safe compliant, right? So
I don't know.
I have more than one
Do they
exit.
have blueprints somewhere? And we go.
Somehow I don't think it matters what entrance we're going to use. Seems like we've already been detected.
Brenna says, I think as long as this time, if we stay together, and she kind of pointedly tries to make eye contact with Oakfeld and like waits until he makes eye contact with her, and then she continues, we'll be fine.
So, just a note for all of you. I can't see in the dark. Just putting it out there. I'll bring my torch, but if we're gonna be delving through tunnels all night and all day, just heads up. I like to stay in the middle of the group. Just
Somebody gives you a string to hold on to.
just, just tie it around my waist and just
Yeah.
pull me along. Yeah. All right. We have no plan. We have no idea what we're doing. All we have is this tunnel.
That's, I mean, I've never had that issue, and I'm sorry.
Well, I think
It
that
doesn't really go into my planning, just as, you know, not used to working with so many people.
Brenna, as a deep gnome, also has no concept of what it's like to not be able to see in the dark. But she says, "So I guess just like light your torch, right? That's what you could use to see."
True. They also don't last forever. That's kind of the
Also, we're going somewhere where I feel like we're gonna want more than just a torch. You're gonna want more than just a torch. We need more than just a torch for you.
And, you know, we were just in town with shops.
Well, this is why I was suggesting trying to find, you know, alternate means of entrance, but
What is your suggestion, Arthur?
I feel like, I don't know, we're just not ready for this.
Remind me, our location right now, we're like far enough away from the town that we couldn't just like make a trip back, right?
It's it's
Day.
like a good
Oh,
6
okay.
hours, 7 hours.
As they're talking, I'm going to produce in my right hand a blue ivy.
Okay.
And in my left hand, the blue jasmine. And I'm just going to mutter to myself, "But I swore I saw." And that's all you can hear.
Aga, where did you find... I'm kind of point to your arm.
It was from,
Just casually scroll through the notes.
This is your character.
100
I
sessions.
know.
Control F.
Oh,
Earlier.
Nocturne.
There you go.
Nocturne.
I was like Dungannon, not Dungannon, not Dungannon. Nocturne.
How dare you not remember these fake city names?
It's been a while.
You guys went to Nocturne very briefly.
Yeah,
You
it was
found
like a
it
pit stop.
in Nocturne?
Well, yes, in possession of local crime boss.
Where did he find it?
I don't really know. It was a long time ago. Not a part of my past that I'm super excited to talk about, but
Well, no, but the pressing issue is, if it
Yeah.
is indeed related to Zystries, perhaps
Well-
where it was found has some information that we could use useful. But if you don't know that, I guess we're back to
I
square
mean,
one.
I've spent years trying to figure things out about it, and this is where I've gotten based on what I know. But
Any chance you remember who this crime lord was? A name? A moniker?
would I have known the name of the crime
Definitely
lord?
not.
I was not told much about what I was getting into, other than I was to relieve the crime boss of said item.
All right. So, we don't have much. It sounds like from what you were saying yesterday that the ones who had the information are no longer here.
as far as I know.
Alright. Well, as much as I don't love the idea of going through the tunnel, I don't love the idea of flying aimlessly around the wastes either.
I don't like any of this just as much as
Information, though, and the tunnel at least could provide
Well-
some. Provided whatever it was that got into all of our heads.
well, I'm very concerned that it's Zystris himself, which means that we're getting closer.
Yes.
And given what I know about phylacteries, I mean, I'm making a good number of, I think, reasonable assumptions, but assumptions. Facing him now, regardless of how it turns out, he's still going to be a problem until this is resolved. It's a matter of how long would
And-
confronting him now hold him off from...
Short of having a solution to that problem, where do you suggest starting to find answers for it?
I'd been thinking the source itself, but I don't, standing at the doorstep, I'm starting to doubt that that's the best option.
Well, then we need an alternative. Or we have to push through. We've already wasted enough time.
You're right. I mean, we could, I guess the only place that I know that would have any sort of answers would be here.
Then that
But-
is what I feel our mission should be this time, if we can. Get in, find the information we can, use it if so, and then hopefully be able to get ourselves out without too much of an issue.
The enemy already knows we're here.
Well, we've lost the element of surprise. That's one less thing in our favor. The odds aren't looking great.
Still, though, pressing forward does seem like the most reasonable plan out of a pile of bad plans.
Forward. I agree. Perhaps there was not this Zystris fellow. False prophets are quite common, but if the matron has guided me to this group, then forward.
Well, regardless, we should still do something about your not being able to see if we are going through the tunnels.
Eleanor just kind of like digs underneath the ship and pulls out her torch, and it's just like, this is all I got.
It's your dark vision.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
has any spells for this.
Attempt to magical tinkering, just points of light that would be most optimal for you to be able to like cover it quickly and easily, but still get like a good wash of light.
Give me
It's like
one
I think it's
second.
only like a 5-foot light.
I believe so. Because
let
I
me
know
check.
it's essentially like a
It's
slightly more
essentially-
powerful prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I have it right here. So, you. It's a really interesting idea. Give me 1 second. Let's take
I'll
a
make
look.
like a light on a stick for you. Throw a tissue over it. They see us.
The object.
I mean, what you're describing is a lantern.
Yeah.
Like, that exists already.
First of all, it needs to be a
Like extra.
tiny, non-magical object,
Okay.
and it sheds light the entire object for 5 feet, and dim light
Oh,
for an
okay.
additional 5
Oh,
feet.
okay. So, no better than a torch.
Other than
Significantly worse than a torch.
I'm
Yeah.
going to stick with the torch.
I think I'd be more concerned about the torch if we hadn't already blown the element of surprise.
While I'm rummaging, I'm gonna look for like empty glass vials or something similar where, should I find anything, I could kind of like stick it inside.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Ooh, that's actually not bad. That is an 18.
An 18. You take a look, kind of going down into the hold, in your drunken state, you kind of woke up and you found like all kinds of weird impressions, and so you imagine there's like a whole bunch of debris down there from the landings that you took. So you go down to begin to sift through, and you find in one corner an area. It looks like a little, what looks like maybe at one point like a blanket. And as you kind of like rummage and pull it out, you do find a broken, like a shattered glass. I'm kind of sniffing it. It smells very sweet, and you realize probably Glub broke it and then just wanted to hide it in the corner. But you have broken glass if you want that.
Help. I kind of like gather up the broken glass. I bring it upstairs and like look at Akka and be like, "You mentioned tinkering, like magical tinkering. Can you repair objects?"
I mean, I can't put the liquid that was in that back in it, but if you want to,
I'm
fresh
looking for
bottle.
a glass vessel of some form.
I mean, I have plenty of non-broken glass vessels if you want one.
Your head is like, you could hear your heart. It's just like real loud. You can hear it.
I'm gonna like pull out one of my empty glass vials and just be like,
Thank you.
do you
Magic.
Like,
Magical tinkering.
like just like drops the glass shards on the deck.
Okay.
Just
Ding,
like
ding,
not
ding,
even.
It's gonna rain down there.
I take the glass vial. I have a feeling like it might be. And just pocket it.
Sounds good. You now have a vial, and all of you still standing on the ship.
All right, let's just get this over with.
If we're gonna go, then time to go.
okay, everyone ready then?
No, but we're going. No, I'm just gonna gets all our stuff together in her adventurer's pack, which she hates wearing, which she brings it anyway.
There you go.
Starts
Alright.
heading down.
Brenna kind of pats Akka on the shoulder as apparently the only person in the world who likes him and is like, "It's gonna be okay, buddy. We got this."
Thanks, Brenna. Thanks. Does anyone need assistance getting to the bottom so that you don't, or should we just head down?
I'm just walking.
Yeah.
All right.
Drop off the
I've got my
edge.
wing boots, so I'll just fly.
Okay. Do you need me to like carry you down or anything, Oakfeld?
My eyes are gonna just slowly
Nope.
move to him
Okay.
and then move forward again.
All right. I'm just gonna like, be like, oh,
Let's go.
and I'm gonna float down.
Perfect. Akka, Brenna, the two of you just fly down. No problem. Shay, right after you just jump off, land without an issue, barely kicking up any dust.
I'm gonna do whatever I need to when I get to the bottom to attach the the arms.
It's an attunable magic item, so it takes an hour.
Oh, okay. I would have done it
Fair enough.
prior had I
Okay.
known during the time.
Over the course of the night, when you have that little morning moment,
Yeah. Okay.
you took some time to kind of lay this out. Not really sure how to apply it. You ended up with it on the ground, kind of spread out, facing up. These little points, seeming almost like an
crab on its back.
yeah. And as you lay back, you feel this pressure, and you're like, this feels almost entirely too sharp. And suddenly, you lose your breath as it punctures into you.
There's
These
probably one
items-
point at night where it
You
was
guys are just
like,
like,
when Glub had his night terrors.
Yeah.
Just like a quick,
The wind is riven out of you, but almost at once, you feel this warmth of healing occurring. And you go to reach, and you hear, and you realize, even by thinking, one of these arms kind of reaches back to touch. You take a little time to adjust and figure out how this thing works.
nice.
So, you guys now all down at the bottom. Eleanor, you begin walking first. You like go down one zig, you go down one zag, you look, and you're like, wait a second. And you bend down. It's like a little object of yours. You put it in your pocket. You keep walking. You look, and there seems to be like freshly broken wood, like all down the side of this. And you're like, that's really interesting. You kind of feel your head, and you're like, I think I know what happened. Everybody else flies past you. You take your time getting down. Oakfeld, what are you doing?
I'm going to, in my mind, think of a special plant that I know and I believe it is called the 4 o'clock flower. I'm looking up.
Okay.
It is a flower that contains a special pigment that produces fluorescence.
Cool.
So I'm gonna become like a giant one of those, and this flower kinda. I'm trying to find a picture of it.
I know what flower you're talking about. It's blue, right?
It's like bioluminescent.
Yeah.
I don't think it generally looks bioluminescent, but at a certain there's a chemical reaction that it can undergo, and it produces bioluminescence. And if I remember correctly, the bioluminescence is living. There's like a vaguely symbiotic relationship.
Oh.
I do have a degree in biology. I just don't ever use it.
No. All evidence to the contrary.
Yeah. I use my psychology one a lot more. So you turn into this flower,
Mhm.
your body shifting, the skin becoming at once more loose and at the same time more firm, turning into a greenish hue, and before too long, slightly more man-like than flower-like. You are a very large flower. Your head replaced by this bloom, although weirdly the head's still kind of emerging partially from it. In a lot of ways, as beautiful as the flower is, this is a mildly disturbing sight. But you are a flower.
I'm going to just step overboard
Okay.
and just hang myself down.
Yeah.
16 feet tall.
And the roots down and strike the sand exactly 16 feet down, and you back. You can make your way to the steps, no problem, and you begin the hike down, even slower than Eleanor.
Do I hear this behind me?
No, you're like all the way. No, so this is how he got off the ship,
Okay. so
standing
he's
over the
still-
side. He's a little bit away.
Okay.
And then if I remember correctly, Oakville just walks down the stairs. So
Okay.
yeah. But as you kind of turn up, you do hear like the of somebody like walking above you, and you look up, and there's this slithering flower-like creature. But even in the way that you see the little leaves, like you're like, that's probably Oakville. And then he rounds a corner, and you see the face like partially coming out, almost like an Elizabethan collar of the flower, and then this face like partially out, the eyes just like looking to one side, looking to the other. But Oakville, now a giant flower.
And I'm just kind of like, okay.
So
Okay.
Just
is
wait
he
at the
luminous
bottom.
enough that Eleanor doesn't need her torch anymore?
So it is the middle of the day, and you guys are outside. You doesn't appear to be luminescent at this point.
Oh.
You all reach the bottom, standing on sand, looking forward about 20 feet into a yawning open door. Darkness beyond, little points, the tops of buildings long buried. You see one in particular with the door open, for those of you with dark vision, about 60 feet away. And it beckons. To you especially, Oakveld.
Eleanor just like strikes her torch.
Okay. Light fills the doorway. The warmth brings some comfort. And you can see the edges of this space, the ceiling just at the periphery in some places that 30 feet. The warm light kind of going across. This is sand into the thing, so you can see the sandy floor. These buildings, sandstone compacted a long time ago. Parts of this fossilized with age. And looking around, not seeing any water, hard to imagine how that would happen, but you see the light now casting its light. What are the rest of you doing?
Start heading in, I guess.
Fantastic.
Take a big deep breath and say,
So one by one, you head in. Hold on a second here. Again, you enter this door. Who's taking the lead? What is the marching order? You guys have minis there. Can you just put them in a line so I know what order you're going in? So the staircase that you travel down, only 5 feet wide, but when you reach the bottom, that chamber, you can kind of go in any direction. You haven't passed beyond this point.
I'll go
Um,
first. I'm tanky
There
and
you go.
have excellent dark vision.
I
Eleanor,
would probably go like next to Brenna. I feel like Akka has a sense of obligation right now,
Okay.
I'd be somewhere in the middle.
Behind Akka.
ready to stab me if needed. Alright, where are you? Is this Oakfeld?
Yeah, that's temporary
Okay.
Oakveld.
Where are you?
Tokefeld.
Probably like in the middle
Tokefeld.
ish.
Alright, so So we're doing rocking like a. Where did you say you were?
Just in the middle. I'm
Okay.
gonna.
So we're rocking
Eleanor's a
like
little feeling a little
Just
paranoid
in a
today.
clump.
we're in like a
Okay, yeah. There you go.
trapezoidal formation.
Yeah,
It's wide enough, right?
yeah. Adventure formation.
You
Yeah.
just say it was 5 feet wide.
Yeah, I'm throwing down the stairs. So
But
we're gonna
once
have
you
to
get to
line up.
this chamber
Yeah.
that you guys got to, 30 by 50 feet, so no problem.
Yeah.
The same orange tan swirled
Got like
stone,
a-
though here the faces have been worked to resemble large or stylized bricks and shaped stones. You've been here before. You see the kind of doorway ahead, and over it, a massive, giant, a mural, though one of the arms reaches out in 3 dimensions. It is exquisite in detail, clearly made by giant hands on a scale. It depicts this giant being, elongated head, wearing furs. The right hand is held up with a single finger held to their mouth, and the left hand emerges by about 3 feet from the mural, holding out between a giant forefinger and thumb, a fist-sized ruby, faceted, cut to resemble almost the eye of a bug in its faceting. You previously had detected that it was magical and surmised maybe a trap, something of that nature. The doorway is still shut in front of you, and as you look now, the slight blue glow for about 5 feet, maybe even less. It's dim light for 5 feet. You do notice a small glint as Eleanor's torch flickers here. On each door, fairly large but flush to the door, it seems as if there is maybe dials, although dust covers them.
I would probably go over carefully, cautiously to inspect the dials.
Okay.
So one
Probably-
door or multiple doors?
So there's 2 doors. So sorry, 1 door, but it's double doored. Yeah, right in the center of this chamber.
Large. Yeah.
Very large. Most of this stuff is sized for giants.
Right.
At
So
least
how,
so far.
sorry.
Hmm?
So how many dials are there?
2, 1 on each door.
1 on each door.
And as you approach and kind of take a look, each one is large, rusted metal, about 15 feet off the ground.
I'd float up and
Okay.
using some telekinetic,
Sure.
just get the dust off.
The dust just displaces. Each, on the left actually, the dial reads 0. And on the right, it reads 9.
Okay. I guess I would start looking around for some sort of clue as to what these 2 numbers could represent. Is the whole, I'm guessing the 2 dials, it's like
So-
0 through 9, or?
You just see 0 and 9, and if you were to telekinetically kind of give a little shove, you can see
Oh,
the 9
like-
and the 0, like a luggage combination.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the word isn't dial, I don't know what it is, but I think it's a dial.
It's like the 2 meters essentially.
Yes.
that-
Yes.
Like a scale, but like.
That's not
Like
what you
a-
said.
like a
like a
scale,
twist
not
lock.
like a scale.
So
Yeah.
like you.
Oh,
move
so it is like,
numbers.
yeah, so it is
It's
like.
not
instead
like
of
this.
what we
instead of like
can
a
see
number
is
lock,
a
yeah.
0 and
Yeah.
a 9, and we imagine if we were to touch
Yeah,
it, you could
it
roll
would-
it up,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it,
Yeah.
then
Yes.
you
You
see 1,
got
and
it.
then you see
Everybody's
2.
on the same page. So
But
proud.
they're not connected.
No, they don't
Okay.
appear to be connected.
Okay, cool. Huh. Okay. So yeah, I guess. What would the number be that?
Make a
is
perception check if you
unlocked?
look around for clues.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to do anything?
I would like to look around also.
Make a
I'm
perception
gonna
check.
look for traps.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah. Not great.
22 for perception.
22 for Brenna.
Ooh, nice. All right, perception.
Yep.
That's 22.
Oh, look at that.
Twin 22s.
Brenna, Akka, with your mashing flying sandals, one at one dial, one at the other. You see Akka kind of like fold its hands, he's looking. You see Brenna fold her arms, kind of looking in the opposite direction.
Look over a second.
Adorable.
You take in the room with as much detail as you can. You look around, and in terms of clues, you see this orange stone. When you look, there are kind of 3 steps when you look at it that vaguely kind of descend towards the door, although less steps, more almost natural descent in this space that has been carved away from footsteps over the years. They lead up on 3 sides to these 20 by 25 tall steel double doorways. Frames are gray stone with glistening veins of obsidian running through. The 10 feet above the doorway is the mural, at the start of the mural with a treatment that makes the stone, as you get close to it with a flame, go from these orange swirls to almost opaque white gray, almost like it's been sanded. The work is ancient, certainly done by giant hands, and you can tell maybe 18 foot, and again, you remember this from before. As you get close, you look now and you can see this red semicircle around the door. And it feels almost like a warning. You also notice, again, this giant with a single finger held to their mouth with the left hand, with the right hand. The left hand emerging about 3 feet and holding out between a forefinger and thumb, a fist-sized ruby. You scan again and again. That's all you see.
Anyone have any ideas?
I only rolled like an 8, so I'm guessing I'm just like looking around like, nope.
Yeah, with the torchlight flickering, and it's hard to get a good sight on things.
Surely the ruby has to be part of this puzzle, right?
Well, the ruby's magical. I think it's probably what would happen if we choose incorrectly. Defensive measures.
Can you remind me like what you learned about it? It's magical.
Evocation
So-
magic.
Evocation.
And,
Yeah.
the, and the
exploding
mural
magic.
very much, so you have the giant left hand like this,
Yeah.
right hand holding the ruby out by about 3 feet, just with the forefinger and the thumb.
Okay. I feel like maybe it's gonna get dropped if we make the wrong choice.
So, Eleanor's like looking at the numbers and looking at like the giant of the hand. She's like, you don't think it's like the finger numbers?
I thought that's all I really see that could.
That's right and
2
left.
and 1.
But that seems.
I don't hate that,
It
but you're right.
feels
It feels
so-
too easy.
It feels so stupidly
Looking
easy.
around the rest of the space, is there anything that I would notice?
Looking for like a perception check or investigate?
Yeah.
Yeah, make a perception check.
I mean, I can probably disarm the spell if
28.
28. Your eyes
Yeah, but
open
then we just
wide.
have,
You
like,
take
a
a moment to feel still with the
non-magical.
air here, attuning your key to the kind of resonance around you. For a moment, you feel vibrations in the floor as your friends kind of walk around. You're so aware of your surroundings. Your eyes drop to the dials. They were dusty, but that doesn't really make sense to you. People have been here before, and so you'd imagine if there is a correct answer, it may look a little different on the face. But the dials have not been turned.
I would relay this.
So I guess we just cycle through and see.
Dangerous.
But fun.
I can be ready to try and dispel the magic if it activates any sort of trap, but
I'm pretty hardy, so I don't mind being the one to actually cycle through numbers if you guys all want to take a nice big
well, I
step
think
back.
we should try to do it simultaneously so that we do it as quickly as we can. Just one cycle through, figure out the best one. I'm still inclined to think maybe it is 2-1, just based on the fingers, but that again seems so stupid.
It doesn't hurt. Well, maybe it would hurt to try it, but if we can't come up with a
there,
better,
work our way around.
Any guidance, Oldfeld?
Is there any significance to Zeistreet's day of imprisonment or?
Nothing that I would know about. I think I have one of the books that I had
You do?
taken that was chained up in the forbidden section
Yeah,
of the
you do.
Lowbinders Academy.
You do. I don't remember exactly what book that was. I hope you have
I
notes
believe
on it.
it was the one about. It was the one that I found a small section about Zeistrees in.
He's in a lot of books. You got to give me some specifics.
It was about. It was the one that had information about the phylactery, I believe.
You were told about the phylactery, so it wasn't
Oh.
the book.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Mm.
Need better notes. I give you book title names for a reason.
I know. I just
You
There's
like
so many
rattled
books.
them off. There
Huh?
were so many. I was just thinking about how you
Yeah,
rattled
there's
them
so
off.
many. There's so many books.
I think I might have wrote some down. You can check.
It's like no, this was way
Oh, yeah.
before. This is why I wasn't able to go into the lore binders. They probably found out that I stole the book. That's probably why.
The book that you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about specifically, it has to do with dark rituals. And Streis was mentioned as somebody who practiced them across
Right.
a variety of applications.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would look back through that and see if there's any significance to Zystreis that has, something that might help us figure out what numbers would be
Like a history
significant to
check.
him within the book. There's I don't know, if it goes into any detail about specific rituals that he is known to have performed, stuff like that. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty good. 22 again.
22.
Big 22s.
Take them.
You pop the book open and begin to scan through. It mentions Zystreis mostly in passing. One thing that is mentioned about him, it appears the first party that went against him, the first people ever to try to rise up in the Kua-Tar Badlands, it was a number of actually frost giants, survivors from the War of the Frozen Sky. And they found their magic severely limited in its effectiveness against him. Something about him perhaps resisting magic. In terms of really obscure rituals, it merely makes mention of the fact that they're books by somebody named Cortesynth Rast. R-A-S-T.
Cortesynth Rast.
Yeah.
Can Brenna think? So like it's been established that Zystreis is like a folk character in Brenna's culture.
Not even a folk character. There's not really an analogy that you could use. This is more than like a chupacabra style thing. The closest thing I can actually think of to it is actually a Jesus. Go ahead.
Also be reading all of this out loud.
Is a
So this is all I
Colombian mythology thing that is called the Pishtacos, and these were actually imagined probably to be based off of like the white Spaniards who came and they drank the fat from locals. That was like the whole folktale thing. This is similar in ways. This is a horrifying boogeyman that not just a folktale, certainly real, certainly an element of history. Now kind of like people are like, oh, he's going to come get you at night if you don't do your dishes.
So like the way that we think of like Jesus, like definitely a real guy did things, but like now in the future there's like tales associated with him.
So during World War II, there was a Japanese project that was entirely designed around like really horrific testing, vivisection, that kind of a thing. Zystreis would be the director of that. But across the entirety of the Underdark, spreading well south of the Dark Salt Ocean, all the way up through the Alb.
So given that Brenna like knows a lot of stuff about him, can she think of any like dates or numbers that jump out as like significant in her culture's history of him?
Make a history check, yeah, perhaps.
This would probably mean that these tunnels were started by the frost giants at the very least. So
They're definitely giant-sized.
12.
12.
some number that might have something to do with them, because presumably they put these doors up.
The tales about Zystreis amongst your people, amongst the Duragar, amongst the stone giants, the few who still occasionally make trips or made trips to your town. Zystreis is different to all of them, but equally horrifying. Hard to tell what tales are true. And so no real dates stick in your mind.
I got nothing.
I don't really know anything about giants. Weird. Okay. Brute forcing it might be our option, since it looks like we're coming up empty in all other fronts.
Start it 1 and 2 and work our way around.
The second you start to like go towards the door, Eleanor is just gonna walk in the opposite direction towards the door that leads into the chamber and get as physically as far away as possible.
Sure. You can back up about almost 50 feet away from the door. So, no problem.
Brenna's gonna fly up to the one on the left
Oh,
and just wait until you're ready.
I guess I can probably do it myself if I like physically moved one and like.
Nah, I got you.
Oh,
probably
you
gonna
got a
actively
flying
did the
partner
other.
now.
I'm probably gonna
Alright.
back up.
Are we
Okay.
sure
Alright.
it's locked?
Try to handle
No, I'm kidding.
That would have been
It's actually a pull.
the best.
Yeah, it's actually a pull. You guys just pushing.
God damn doors.
Yeah. Well, they're giant
Alright.
size too. They're probably pretty heavy. Although they're probably also pretty nice.
So, what numbers are you setting the doors to?
So left is 1, right is
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
So that would be left is 2 and right is 1?
Who's left? Doors left or our left?
oh my god.
So again,
Stage left.
They should probably just align,
Yeah,
like
I
whichever
think,
one is
like,
on it. Yeah.
1
okay.
for
Stage
this
left.
door, 2 for so yeah.
You look at the mirror.
Our right is 1. Our
Okay.
left is 2.
You guys take a little time. You triangulate. You really
Yeah.
make sure. You line up the 1.
2.
You're like,
Oh,
okay.
but what if it's
Lines up.
3?
Oh,
No,
shit.
well,
Could be
no, but we
like
have 2
7.
numbers, right? Like,
You know, it could be like
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
God.
It's like this, right? Not like this.
Huh?
Like this? Not like this. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
That's 2. that's,
Let's do it.
unless it's the opposites. This is 3 and 4.
Oh no, we're okay. We're like
We're talking too much. Brenna's like, we're talking too much. Just, okay, on 3. Ready?
No, mine is on 1. Yours is
That's
on
not
2.
what I meant, you idiot.
We're just like against the wall trying to find
Like,
any
who's
cover.
on first?
Okay, so when I say G-O, that's when you spin, okay? Okay, go, and then we spin.
Okay. The left door is set to 1. The right door is set to 2. You wait for a moment. Nothing seems to happen. But you do notice these 2 faces certainly cleaner than the other ones. There's a sheen to the metal that is different. You think about pushing it.
I do push it.
Very quietly, the doors.
Wow. It was that stupid. I guess it's. Ooh.
This puzzle, the real thing that was keeping people out was just trying to figure it out and
The
just.
stone giants were certainly artists, not mathematicians. You see beyond a 30-foot path, 36-foot tall ceilings, vaulted. 30 feet down this path, you see a large circular chamber with a domed ceiling, disappearing out of sight. From your perspective, you can't see it quite yet. In the center of the room, there is a towering 30-foot tall statue. Perhaps a female stone giant. You can't see the top half, but certainly appears to be a stone giant with the elongated limbs. She wears furs, at least from the waist down, that are exquisitely detailed. For a moment you freeze, not even sure if these are real. But it's a very still creature. With your torchlight, kind of holding it out, taking a few steps closer with the flames flickering, doesn't react, and you would imagine it is a statue. Oh, a beautiful work. What are you guys doing?
Do I recognize the figure in this at all? Probably not anymore.
Pair of legs and kind of like a loincloth sort of
Oh,
deal.
so it's like
You can't. You
Can
you
I,
have
like,
to get
fly
further
up?
into
no
the 30
distinguishing features like about a stone a giant who like
So you stand
has got
in a
some
30-foot long tunnel, and
always
then there's a
wears
60-foot long a circular chamber at the end,
sandals.
and you see the legs of the stone giant. You don't see the rest
Oh,
of the
okay.
statue.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
we're
gonna
not close
start
enough
making
yet.
my
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start making my way
Stealthing my
towards
way
it.
down.
Yeah,
Make a stealth check.
cautiously.
Yeah.
Yeah, cautiously.
I would also like to be stealthy.
some
I have
stealth
advantage
checks.
on stealth checks
Okay.
in rocky or underground terrains.
Make a check at disadvantage.
Yeah, Eleanor's like looking at everyone, starting to go stealthy. I'm like, who's here light? She's like, I'm keeping the light. I'm like,
Yeah, all of a
keeping the
sudden,
light.
it's like everybody just to the walls, and you're just like, guys.
I got 217.
24. What was yours?
Dirty 20.
Nice.
I just was. I rolled 2 17s.
21.
That's always fun.
17 plus 3, 20.
Damn. Okay.
We're sneaky.
Eleanor.
Mostly.
What if it doesn't
You
matter?
kind of look. Okay, not bad.
Disadvantage.
You look around.
You are
yeah,
a
I know,
rogue.
that's amazing. You look around and you see none of your companions. You kind of hold the torch out and you just see kind of like nothing for a moment, and then suddenly the head shifts. You see a little bit of this bioluminescent blue. Oakfeld had his face, like the flower face, just pushed against the wall to block the light. But you see the eye just shift out at you, and then the thing closes again. You're like, oh, damn it. And you kind of turn. You do your best to obscure the torch behind you and do a pretty good job. You feel relatively hidden.
Okay.
However, you are emitting a large sphere of light around you. And so you imagine probably not very well hidden.
Yeah, Eleanor's kind of just like, I'm bait. I'm just bait, and I'm just gonna start walking toward the statue because nothing else we can do.
Recognizing that the captain is bait, probably gonna like be ready to attack anything that enters the light.
Sure.
I'm gonna put my free hand on my sword hilt.
And be like, you know, always checking back to make sure that the light is not being intruded upon.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got my axe drawn for sure.
Sure. You walk down the tunnel. As you get closer to this giant, more of it appears. You can see she is wearing furs, exquisitely detailed. In the one hand, she holds a chisel. In the other, a stone. The entire thing is one piece, and care has been taken to leave space raw between the hands and the objects they hold. Around the base, in giant runes, is a written word. Or many words, actually, you would imagine. As you take the time to read them or look at them, does anybody speak giant?
Not anymore.
Unfortunate.
Super no.
As you hold the fire up to look at it, you're aware of another sound. Somewhere in the distance, you hear running water, something similar. There are 3 30-foot-long hallways, one off each cardinal direction of this chamber. You walked in from the west. You walked in from the south. The northern hallway, you can see, seems to lead to another chamber. The eastern one leads to a different chamber, although there is glints of vibrant blue coming from that one as the torchlight flickers. And then from the west, it would appear that's where you hear the sound from. You look, but something seems to obstruct your vision, maybe 30, 40 feet for those of you with dark vision, down that hallway.
So it basically splits 3 ways.
4 ways. So right now, imagine the
okay.
chamber is like a
We
circle,
came from the fourth
and
way.
one goes off each cardinal direction.
Gotcha,
You came
okay.
from the south.
Right, 3 ways other than
Yes.
the one that we just came through.
Precisely.
Is it the room facing to the west that obscures the darkness?
Yes.
Okay.
When you said that there was like, can you say again what you said about she's holding stuff in her hand and
Yeah.
like care was taken to
In
make
one
sure?
hand, she holds a chisel, and then the other, a stone. The whole thing is carved out of one piece of stone. You can tell, and care has been taken to leave raw stone in areas, so you can see where the stone touches the hand. You can see like that it is one rock.
Oh, okay.
Purposefully left like that.
They were showing off.
Make an insight check.
14.
Okay, I'd actually make it at advantage because I forgot you're from the Underdark.
I am from the Underdark. All right. 19.
Okay. Stone giants. You may have met one, maybe 2. They're incredibly rare, and they do stick to the upper dark and not really delving too deep. They're artisans of unbelievable quality. The simplest of them can carve things that would put some dwarves to envy. That being said, in a lot of ways, looking at this, you recognize this stone giant really positing about what it means to be created. You see the chisel and the stone and the giant all carved from the same rock. And in a way, maybe a speculation about whether the art is an act of creating or whether that really generates who we are.
Brenna has a degree in art history. You might
There
not.
you
I would like to kind of like fly around the statue and really
Talon
get a.
chooses woe.
Ah, Talon.
Oakfeld, make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, not this again.
So what I will tell you, I've been rolling for Zeistrice. I've been waiting till I roll over a 10 for him to start doing something. I have not rolled over a 10.
10.
I've rolled like
Still
5 or 6
10.
times.
Straight
mean,
10.
Straight
Thanks,
10?
Talon.
Yep. I have no wisdom. Intelligence.
As you enter this place, Oakfeld, everybody else kind of looking at these kind of base rooms. You look, and for a moment, the pressure in the room changes. Almost like you get a little bit of a sinus pressure. You shake it off and look down, and suddenly, those rooms no longer in giant. You see, what languages do you speak?
I speak Sylvan, Elvish, Draconic, and Undercommon.
Okay. Suddenly it reforms in Undercommon. You can read it. Although the words don't seem to make sense. It's the same word, again and again and again. Murderer. Murderer, murderer, murderer. Your head turns almost on its own accord, and your eyes find Akka once more. You shake your head
Just, like,
again.
Looking, trying to figure out
Giant
which way to
rooms.
go. Probably catch a glimpse and like notice that he's staring at me again. Just kind of like look at the other door.
Eleanor can't
Or
see
the
the whole
other-
statue, can she? Because it's quite tall and it's a 30-foot.
So as you
Well,
draw closer, you
yeah.
certainly can. The
Okay.
ceilings, as you get into the space,
Yeah.
60 feet up as well. And you can see, give me 1 second here. Also, sort of these, raises up into like a dome. And you can see each flat part kind of faceted to resemble in ways like a greenhouse, although the stone panels being the glass. It is a really
Okay.
beautiful room, and you would imagine if your vision was a little bit better, even more so. But yeah.
Okay.
Do any of us notice a change in Oakfeld's demeanor?
Does your passive perception?
17?
Yeah. Suddenly you feel just kind of in the dark, you sense Oakfeld stiffen for a moment.
I kind of fly over next to Oakfeld. He's very tall, so I fly like next to his
Yeah.
face. And I'm just like, given what I think Brenna was there for like last night when everyone was down here, right? So like, given what she knows, Brenna's just gonna be like, Oakfeld, how we doing, bud?
Oh, it's you, the Elder Wise.
Yeah. Anything wrong?
No, everything is fine. We must carry on.
Okay, because you know you can tell us if something feels wrong, right? Might be.
I'm fine.
Okay. Okay.
Oakfeld. In the back of your mind, you hear, "Good, Oakfeld. They didn't believe you. Keep it secret for now. I'll tell you when you can help."
I'm just gonna shift my eyes. Can I see Akka?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give a small like side glance, just notice where Akka is, and then that's it.
So to our right is where the blue light is glimmering.
So
Or is
Down
that
it
would
the
be
east
in the
tunnel?
eastern hallway. It's not like a blue light, so especially
blue-
when
blue
Eleanor's
glimmer.
torch goes, it's a vibrant blue stone. Almost seems of it maybe in something else.
Okay. I think I would start heading in that direction, still cautiously, carefully, sneakily,
Sure.
and planning to work my way into the 3 rooms, I guess, counterclockwise.
Okay. For anybody paying especially close attention, Akka kind of drifts off and towards the eastern hallway. Where's everybody else going?
I'd like to. Well, did I notice? So when I noticed that Oakfeld was like kind of stiffened, did I notice him look at Akka?
Make an insight check.
15.
You see the eyes flicker around, and definitely seems maybe dazed, but you don't notice specifically the lingering stare on Akka.
Seeing Akka move off to begin looking and doing my best to listen
Okay.
and see if there's any odd sounds moving around.
Make a perception check.
25.
Okay. You listen in this ancient place, and here and there you hear little bits of stone falling as the wind shifts for the first time in maybe a couple days. And then even more present as you tune in your ears from the western hallway, not water, sand. You don't hear the accumulation, the tone doesn't shift.
Did I make it into the room without
Certainly did.
dying?
So it is a 30-foot hallway, and as you get closer to the end with your dark vision, you can see glints of light going across a pillar in this room. There's a vibrant blue sphere of lapis lazuli, the trademark bands of green that run through it shimmering slightly, giving you an indication as to what it is. It stands on top of a pillar, perfectly balanced.
Like a monolith, essentially, with a the sphere at the top.
Now, interestingly, this pillar only about 5 feet tall.
Okay, so it's more like on a pedestal.
Yeah, certainly more of a pedestal.
Plinth.
If we're getting technical, it would actually be a no, you're fine. Plinth.
Okay. Cool. I guess I'm gonna investigate this sphere, see if there's anything.
Make an investigation
This is-
check.
Is it like a crystal sphere, or because there was the red ruby outside, or crystal?
That
not
was more
necessarily
crystal, and this is
ruby.
certainly lapis lazuli. Very
Okay.
much a large
It is another
specimen.
gemstone. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can figure anything else out about this, given my understanding of magical items, and this might be another trap. You know.
Okay, make an investigation check.
That's 15 plus. I believe that's a 25. But let me double check on that.
Plus 25?
No.
Oh.
It is
Yes.
a total of
I
25.
was gonna
We're
say
in
you're
the
playing too much
40s.
Starfinder. That's Starfinder numbers.
Congratulations, you win D&D.
Yeah, really. I think you already did
So
that
I
with the
think that's a
lightning bolt.
total of 94.
Nice.
You see through space and time.
Yeah. You actually see
Sounds
too
nice,
much.
'cause it's really small, and I just go.
You get really stuck on the molecules. You know? You really begin to take this in, investigating, altering the angle of your body, the way that you look at it. And then you recognize, not like the stone giant out there, this is a separate piece. And where it lines up onto the pillar, there is a slight bowl to it. And you would imagine, really looking close and blowing away a little bit of the dust, although very little to begin with, there's a thin seam, a button perhaps.
On the sphere. Itself.
Almost as if you push it down on the sphere.
Okay. I'm going to note this, everyone.
Are
Do
we?
not touch it
Have we
yet.
gone with him?
Oh
or-
yeah, is anyone?
you
I was
guys-
still I was standing at the beginning of the tunnel in the main room still.
Okay, if no one is in there, then I'm just gonna go back and report that I found. I'm gonna be like, there's a sphere that looks like it activates something in there. I'm gonna go check out these other rooms before I press it. Any objections?
Just be careful
Everyone's
with
still here?
that one point to the west hall.
Hmm.
It's sand, not water.
Sand, not
Water.
water. Oh, okay.
You listen
That
really
makes
carefully,
sense.
and you can hear it now. It's not like a splash. It really is like a...
Then maybe we should all head in that direction when I finish checking out this one.
That sounds like the last one. Once we've
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally don't want to go towards activity, but okay. So I guess the north one is the next one that I'm gonna go check out.
It's the dark hallway.
You kind of tell everybody, and then you're like, all right. You go down the other hallway.
Brenna is like actively staying close to Oakfeld, so she's like being as stealthy as she can, or like as subtle as she can about it. But like she if he's staying in the main room, then she's kind of like really inspecting this statue
Yeah.
really close just to kind of stay near him.
You're,
'cause she
you're
thinks
taking your safety stance.
Yeah,
You're kinda
exactly,
staying within
exactly.
arm's reach of somebody. For
Eleanor is
sure.
going to like the beginning of the hallway for the north and like holding her torch up, but she doesn't go in. So she's
Okay.
basically like following Akka, kind of.
But standing
keeping
at the
distance.
beginning.
Yeah.
Sure. Akka, you walk down this 30-foot hallway and find another 30 by 30 chamber, partially caved in. And here you can hear that and see little stones falling down. A series of carefully cultivated basalt tubes. Basalt. Yeah, it is basalt,
It's
right?
basalt,
basalt.
yeah.
Basalt tubes.
Bath salt.
Basalt. Some twisted, some straight, and carefully you can see elements of like stone mortar have been laid, crumbling around many of these joints. That is what you see.
Does it seem like there's much rhyme or reason with the placement of any of these? There are no other entrances or exits to this room.
Make a perception check.
25.
Even with the crumbling roof, which you can see as damaged elements of this, call it like a complex series of tubes almost, the way that it's been grown.
Okay.
You don't see doors leading out of here. You count roughly 6 or 7 of these tubes that kind of entwine and connect. What was the roll?
25.
You get down low, and you can see there are areas close to the ground where there are openings to these tubes. And even as you get down, that necklace that amplifies your voice kind of slides across your arm and it ding on the floor. And as it bounces into the tube, it makes these laser-like sounds. Have you ever skipped a stone on ice? Very similar to that. So it goes ding, kind of echoing. And you see this tube glow faintly and then go out.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the atrium, and so there's a series of basalt tubes,
It's the basalt internet.
7, and when I accidentally hit one, it glowed. Right? That's what that.
So you lean down to
Right.
look, and the necklace
There was
slid, it struck the floor, and that echo was amplified.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it didn't glow.
It did, faintly.
it did,
Yeah,
okay.
with the sound.
So yeah,
So we have
significance between the two.
pressure,
we've got a button
sound.
and oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah,
that
we had the
is-
same idea.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like it might. I know I said that we wouldn't go down to where the sand is falling until we were like all done out here, but it feels like we should know everything before we make plans of like pushing buttons and.
Yeah, we should check the last room. Yeah.
Terrible joke from Talon in the chat.
That'll be
What did
So-
you say?
Would you guys? It's a long joke.
Okay.
I'll tell it before the break if you would like. I have a 30-minute joke, but I'm not gonna test that out. You've heard it, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. So
The one that ends. Oh my god, a talking dog.
you guys kind of drift. No, it's way worse. You guys drift over kind of towards this final hallway, the western one. Nanaka, are you proceeding down?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Eleanor doesn't say anything where she goes to the entrance, holds up her torch, but doesn't go in.
As you hold up your torch,
Again, sneaky cautiously.
okay, you can keep that same stealth check. You guys haven't really moved that
Yeah,
far.
sneaky cautious. Sneaky cautious.
You see maybe 20 feet beyond a falling curtain of light-colored sand, constantly falling, obscuring the chamber beyond. And as you hold up this torchlight, the sand glistens dangerously, and you recognize not sand, glass.
Oh.
This rains down constantly, although it doesn't accumulate. You can see these micro shards, sharp, slightly dulled from years of falling, but you would imagine reaching through, still no less pleasant.
No other doorways visible.
Make a perception check.
I'm like trying to map out this area.
Nice.
18?
With an 18, You kind of get a little closer, looking around the edge. Is there some other exit out of this place? No. But as you examine the edge of the curtain, you notice elements of the stone slightly different in color, and they seem to disappear into the walls in directions that would lead to the other two chambers.
So, like,
Here's this kind of frame of a doorway, like basically a wall of glass.
Okay.
On either side, there seems to be a slightly different colored stone that disappears into the wall, as if connecting to the other chambers.
Oh, okay. Is the color of the stone different colors than the lapis lazuli and the glow?
On the right side, the side that would line up with the eastern hallway, a slightly tinted blue stone. The one on the left tinted a vague shade of orange, almost like the glowing basalt.
Okay. I think I got it.
Another puzzle. They really don't want people in here, do they?
Brenna,
Or things out.
one thing that you do know about stone giants, and I'll remind this because I think I said it. Stone giants are amazing artisans, and something like this, many stone giants have private sanctums, kind of hidden around, very contemplative in nature, and especially thinking about that sculpture in the middle, it makes you think this was a place for meditation, for thought. And protected, of course. The Upper Dark especially, very dangerous. So very secure is this place, very private and very serene.
So I relay that, and I say, or I think it's, so there must be a way to kind of like get in there because this was originally intended to be a space for someone to be and be protected.
I think we need to go back to the other two rooms, activate both of them somehow. I know, or I think just moving the orb will activate that one, which connects, I'm guessing, to the appropriately colored stone on the curtain. And then the basalt tubes, we should look at more to see what would activate them. Maybe striking them all simultaneously or in a sequence, but I don't know. That's as far as I've gotten. Sorry.
You're doing great. Dropping something into them, perhaps. Is it? I'm having a hard time picturing. Are their tubes like in the floor or like
It's
from
kind of
the
like
ceiling?
coral, right? Like
yeah,
not coral,
yeah.
but
No,
like
I know exactly
the
what
way
you mean.
that it's like
So the way that
constructed.
it's constructed, it is kind of coral, but these are like black, very faceted, almost tubes.
Right.
And so they connect, and the angles more so than coral, very angular. And you can see stone kind of dying away from where perhaps they were joined by mortar.
So not natural.
Certainly not. Maybe the stone was at one point, but it's been pushed into this concoction or this shape.
Okay.
And based on the ceiling falling it may not have always been just like this.
Okay.
Certainly been kind of bent a little bit in time.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna go back to the basalt room.
Okay.
And do like a more thorough check and like, telepathically like flick a pebble at each of them and see if they all react the same way.
Sure.
Do that kind of like checking out that to figure out the way to unlock it or activate that side.
Your telepathic hand sweeps along the ground, finding a little pebble, and then just throws it at the first one. Tink, wah, 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 wah. Little laser sound all over the place, and that glows a faint orange. Take the second one, wah, all over the place, a faint orange. The third one, tink, falls to the ground. Fourth one falls to the ground. Same for the fifth, the sixth, the seventh.
Two of them.
Eleanor's gonna head over to the lapis lazuli room and take a closer look at the sphere and the pedestal.
Make an investigation check.
If I do like 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6, and work my way up, do any more than the first two activate?
You take the stones. A lot of stuff. You have to like go grab some pebbles
I'm like
back.
checking all the sequences,
Yeah.
you know?
And so you're just kind of flicking, but no matter the order, number 1 and number 2 always faintly glow.
Okay.
11.
I'm going to relay that to everyone.
With an 11, you look around. It is an Orb of Lapis Lazuli, a very valuable stone. It rests on a podium. You don't see how you might press a sphere.
Is it like, is it a size where it could be like, I'm assuming it's like,
A little bit bigger than a
Large.
basketball, yeah.
Eleanor's just kind of like, fuck it, and just picks it up.
Okay. You pick it up. Make an athletics check. This is heavy. This is close to 100 pounds.
It's like a giant-sized gumball.
Yeah.
Let's see. Athletics. That is a 17.
Okay. With all your might, you kind of put your hands around. You take the torch, you stick it in like a little crevice. You get your hands around this thing, and you go to lift. And your legs don't respond the way you want. They're kind of cramping from last night. So your back is the only thing that goes into this lift. And as you pull it away, you hear this little, and you kind of sift to the side. You drop the stone in half on the ground.
Do I hear that from the
Certainly.
other?
You guys hear.
I'm just like,
You notice on this pillar what looks like almost like a little button had you press this down. The weight of this matching perfectly. Now just a button without a lever. Perhaps.
I'm gonna make my way to the other room to see what the damage is now after hearing that.
With your vision, you get halfway down the hallway and you see cracked in half on the floor at the feet of Eleanor, who's now retrieved their torch. Broken orb. Little bits of dust around it.
Is it large enough that I can't mend it?
Are you going to try?
Is the break larger than a foot?
Certainly.
Okay,
The thing is
so the
broken
thing
clean
is-
in half. Not
Okay.
clean. There's like dust
But
and
it's so it's
debris.
larger than a foot
Yes.
wide.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like
A little bit. The real problem is you wouldn't be able to fix it all at once. And so the shearing force of this, with the weight of it, is going to crack when you try to
Right.
fix
It'd
half
be
of
like fix the outer surface and then go to fix the other side,
Yeah.
and like it's really only held on by like the exterior shell
Yes,
of it.
very much so. And then
But
when you
like-
shift
but-
that side, it cracks on the other.
But you said it kind of cracked through the middle, right? So now it's got
Mostly,
these
yeah.
two halves. So okay, Brenna comes down and sees what's happened.
Remember, I did say that you should push it on the button because
well,
it was already over the button. And
so
now
Brenna,
it's
like,
not.
Brenna's very strong, so
Yeah.
she takes the one half sphere and she kind of rolls it so it's sitting like a bowl.
Okay.
She picks up the other half, puts it on top,
Okay.
and she's like, "There, sphere. Where do I
strength,
put
your
it?"
strength is 19?
20.
20? Oh, yeah, no problem.
And then she picks it up so it's like one half resting on top of the other half, and she's like, "Where do I put it?"
I guess back on the plinth.
All right.
You put it on the plinth. The button does not shift. You look down, these little pebbles and missing bits. There's an element to the weight here that really seemed important.
Can I try to, like, once it's sitting there, can I try to, like, push down on it?
Make an athletics check. You certainly can.
24.
24. You kind of like get your feet on the edges of the pedestal, standing on top of it, and you put your hands on, and you leap, shoving all your body weight down. It does go down. And for a second, you hear the sand almost as if partially broken up. A couple seconds go by, and this button, you feel your body kind of pop, and you hear sand falling evenly.
Problem solved, I say.
As
Go
long-
figure out what has to happen in the other room, and I will be ready to push this button again when you need me to.
Yeah, and Brenda can push the button for herself to get out, too.
Going to get out. We need some way to get the weight of this enough to hold it down so that it doesn't pop back up, without also leaving you here so that you can't come through the curtain.
Can Brenna tell, based on how much pressure she applied, like how much more weight there needs to be approximately?
For Brenna, not super smart. That would be a tough one.
That
Go ahead
is
and make a
true.
flat intelligence check.
14.
14. Definitely more than a baby steeder, but probably less than a full-grown giant mushroom.
Okay.
That's pretty heavy. I don't know what the scale is, but it sounded pretty heavy.
A steeder is a rideable spider.
I know what a
Yeah,
steeder
yeah, I was
is.
gonna say, you should. You guys have ridden them.
Okay, how about you figure out how to fix this,
Mhm.
and I'll go try to figure out how to activate the basalt tube
Where's-
series
Fair enough.
of
Where's
tubes.
Oakfeld?
I'm probably still staring at the statue.
I'm gonna go out back toward Oakfeld and just try to get his attention and be like, you can grow something out of nothing, right? I've seen you grow flowers and stuff, right? Can you do it in bulk? Come on,
Well,
I need you. And I try to like get him to follow me back down.
While they're out of the room, I'm gonna pocket all the loose lapis lazuli.
Go ahead and you can add. Where are my D100s? You can add 50 gold pieces of lapis lazuli to your inventory. You find quite a few shards, and some of them still probably salvageable to turn into things.
Nice.
I'm gonna go back to the basalt room. Try to hit both 1 and 2 simultaneously, and then listen to see if it.
In your hand, you pick up 2 little stones, your psychic hand, and fling them. Go ahead and make an attack roll with that hand to get these things simultaneous.
With my spell.
Yeah, spellcasting modifier.
Spellcasting modifier. Okay. That is 13.
13. Technically, it's your intelligence modifier, but that is your spellcasting modifier.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, 13, no problem. You fling these stones. They kind of hit each other and spread a bit, but they both do strike their target. Ta-ting! They glow with the laser sound, all up and down. Over the laser sound, you do hear as the sand is broken up briefly, and then as the glow fades on the basalt, resumes.
Okay.
I have rope. Do you think we could tie it or tie something to it where it could put enough pressure down?
Oh, I see. Pulling down on
Pulling
that.
down.
Sounds like a great plan.
Um,
Was I successful in getting Oakfeld to follow me?
I think I would follow you, but as I'm walking, I'm just staring at the statue and the words. But I'm following you.
This is like Brenna's equivalent, you know, like the kid in class who's acting up. You give them a job to do, so
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah,
divert
great.
that energy. That's
Totally.
where this is going.
Love it.
Um,
Supportive skills.
yeah, right, exactly. So I think Brenna, who has seen Oakfeld from her perception create something out of nothing by like just creating flowers, she says to him, we need to create more weight on this, and nobody's better at making stuff than you are. You know, like, Eleanor, can we maybe like rig something up that we can like hang some weight from it?
I'm good with knots.
Yeah. Oakfeld, what do you got that we can kind of
I'm gonna
pile
search in my brain the heaviest wood species I can think of.
Okay.
And that is the Argentinian lignum. I can't even pronounce that. Vitae, yeah.
Oakfeld's brain is just a Google search bar.
But only for plants. And only for wood-related plants.
It's like a really heavy hardwood. And what I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna create like a burr. You know, like trees just have like those cancerous burr growths on them. And I'm gonna create one of those right on my arm, about the size of the orb.
Is it like attached to you?
Yeah.
Can we like?
Is there a way to remove this
Yeah, what-
without hurting you?
Great job so far.
Put
Now
on
what?
the orb?
I can suffer more for the matron.
Oh Jesus.
Okay, we don't necessarily have to suffer anything. We could just press it again. I'm pretty quick. I could probably help get her closer to the door if we need to, but I'd rather not spill any blood, just open a door.
I only spill sap.
Point stands.
Well, let's see. All right, before we do anything rash, let's try to like rig up whatever it is that we're gonna attach the
Yeah.
weight to.
You guys have been down here for less than an hour, and you're already thinking about dismembering yourselves.
Yeah.
I also want to point out last night in our Starfinder campaign, it took 3 hours. No, 2 weeks ago, it took 3 hours to go to cannibalism. So yeah,
Just like,
these are the
In
friends.
fairness, only
Not
one
even
person
3
so far
hours,
has
it's like 3
suggested
minutes.
dismemberment.
We were like, oh, I guess we should probably eat the dude.
Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out. I keep interesting company.
Noted.
Eleanor's gonna just try to like take her 50 feet of hempen rope
Yeah.
and make essentially like a rough net.
Mhm.
Basically, the idea of trying to like see if give more leverage to kind of pull down.
I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Go ahead and make a that's a performance check.
In rope craft. Not tying.
Yeah.
Rope tricks.
Well, in 3.5, one of the skills was called use rope.
Yeah.
I know. Back in the olden days.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
You take this rope and you look at what you have available to you. There's already half of the orb on this thing. So what you do is you take a piece of rope, run it lengthwise, kind of tie it around the base, again over top, and you end up with this almost a knot that you can twist. And as you twist it, it ratchets the pressure up on the entire structure. This, every time you twist it, you see the stone just a little bit more and a little bit more. Suddenly, with one turn, you hear the as if it is breaking the curtain slightly, and that sound continues. You hear on the pillar this kind of as it tries to shift back up. This knot very well made. You imagine it'll hold for some time.
Okay, well, that buys us some time.
Great work.
How far apart are the two basalt tubes that I need to hit simultaneously?
At their widest point apart, like 2 feet. At their narrowest, they touch.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use my homunculus servant, so I'm gonna take out a piece of paper and do the whole, make a little, kind of like just a dude who's kind of standing there.
Okay. You end up, it's like a 5-pointed star. The star part is the head. You have the 2 little arms, the 2 little legs.
Yeah, and I'm gonna command it to just like hit both of them
Okay.
pretty much simultaneously at the narrowest point where they're connected.
Okay. You take this little folded guy and you set him down on the ground, and for anybody watching, they would expect the paper to flutter to the ground, but it stays upright, defying gravity. And as you kind of whisper instructions to it, suddenly it just kind of starts walking forward. You see it get right up to these 2 tubes, the little hands up and in position.
I'm gonna have it start like pretty much just like tapping both of them simultaneously and consistently.
Sure. You just see,
No.
you see the head kind of turn and look at you.
I'm gonna have it pick up 2 little pebbles
Okay.
and hit it with the 2 pebbles.
Most adorable.
It kind of
Leslie.
wobbles around, kind of searching, and eventually finds a pebble. You see it has to turn over so that the leg and one arm star become the leg so it can grab it and then turn back up. And again, kind of like lumbering over, the paper folding a little. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about, yeah.
Yeah.
So, kind of like, and you hear,
Great.
and then ding, wah, 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 and it again.
Okay. I'm gonna command it to just keep doing it like ding, ding,
Okay.
ding, ding.
You see for a second the paper, and then, and it's just ding, 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 laser sounds all over the place. Wah, 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 wah. It echoes in the chamber, but the sound of the sand fades.
Great. I'm gonna go back and see how the other side is doing.
Sure.
Did we all hear the sound fade as well?
Certainly, yeah. And now you can hear in the back. It sounds like Darude Sandstorm kind of coming out. It's just down, 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 down. Yeah, just all over the place. Relatively rhythmic, but the echo is causing it to become like cacophonous, like really hard to listen to.
Brenna says, time to go. And she kind of like grabs Oakfeld's hand and is like, come on, let's go. And heads toward the western, was it the western tunnel with the sand falling?
Yes. Now, so you go over. Oakfield's hand is different, and as you look, you're just holding onto this massive cancerous growth. You're like, and you kind of like slide your hand down. Oakfield, are you doing anything with that?
Eventually it probably just absorbs back into my body
Okay.
slowly.
So as you kind of take Oakfield's hand, already as you pull, you can hear the wood kind of shifting and slowly flattening out. In the western hallway, you can see now beyond a few grains of this glass scattered at the floor, but there appear to be very dark tunnels, caverns, natural. This is the Underdark ahead of you. But because it is 10:11, this is where we're going to take our break.
We opened the door.
Yeah,
Open
guys.
2 doors.
Two doors, yeah.
Two doors, and I want to remind you,
Yeah.
the answers were for the very on the door.
It's basically just like the address. Like, oh, we're at 21 Giant Tunnel Lane.
Yeah. Giant Tunnel Lane. I love that. All right, thank you very much for hanging out with us, Talon. Thank you for the joke. The joke was, Cleric comes in and kind of says, "Good sir, we hear that your village has been has befallen a terrible lycanthropic curse." The villager says, "The werewolves did it. They say they can remove it, but they're asking for 100 bite coins." And then the cleric says, "Oh no, tell me it's not what I think it is." And the villager goes, "Yep, ransomware." Fantastic. So, Tom, thank you for that. We'll be back in 10 minutes. It is current. I know, that hurts. It is 10:12. We'll be back at 10:22. We'll see you then. back to Adventures in Alberon. We'll have Dan with us in just a second, but we'll just jump right back into this. So, when we left off, you had all solved these entirely too simple puzzles over the last hour and a half, and made your way through the western wall, this curtain of glass no longer falling. In front of you, you can see natural caverns that lead to the Underdark proper. Ceilings kind of 6 to 8 feet tall. The floor is relatively even, but there are a few areas kind of worn with condensation running for years from above. Rainwater slowly seeping through, perhaps. After about 20 minutes of walking, you can see sand beginning to dominate the floor space instead of stone and dirt. As you're walking down these tunnels, anything you guys want to do?
I'm just keeping my eyes open for anything that's going to be trap or
Okay.
ambush.
Make a perception check.
Keeping an ear out as well.
Make a perception check.
I'm keeping an eye on Oakfeld.
Okay. You do so.
Eleanor's just trying to stay as in the middle of the party as possible as people kind of
Sure.
shift around. She's like, nope. I am not going to be in the front. I'm not going to be in the back. I
Yeah.
am right here.
You stay perfectly centered, the nucleus of this small adventuring cell.
13.
13?
Perception.
23.
23.
Passive of 17.
Nice. With a 13, you kind of look around, keeping an eye. We'll get back to that. For you, as you walk, initially, you hear echoes of your own footsteps. You hear shifting bits of sand, and certainly overhead, the ceiling, as you look up, petrified sandstone. Not the most stable. You think about the feet and feet and feet of sand above. And especially for you, so used to being in the open skies of the north. This is incredibly claustrophobic. But you walk, listening as best you can. These sand floors are broken up here and there as you continue to walk, and you can see there are jutting stones from beneath. They kind of break up the sight lines here and there, and with your torch, especially Eleanor, they cast long, looming shadows. You continue to walk. Up ahead, Shay, you hear something fluttering like cloth in the wind. But with the sight lines broken up the way they are, you can't quite see it yet. And from this distance, maybe 100 feet away.
Approaching very stealthily.
Sure. Everybody who wants to, please make stealth checks.
Fresh stealth checks.
Everybody rolled like 20s and higher, so I'm really hoping it's like 1, 4, 23. Yes.
Natural 20.
Natural
Sorry.
20.
For a
13.
total of 23.
I
Nice.
think I have a dirty 20.
Okay.
Yep, dirty 20.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna assume that my
Alright.
advantage in to stealth checks in underground situations applies pretty much everywhere here.
You're in the Underdark.
All right.
As you walk, converse to Shay, your shoulders relax. For the first time, you feel the tension in your head caused from dealing with this intense sunlight for so long ease. You're not home, but these are familiar roads to you. At least in how they feel. Are you guys pressing onward?
Yeah, cautiously,
This far.
stealthily.
So stealthy.
And you are.
Super sneaks.
Shay, you listening so well, suddenly, as you kind of mention that there is maybe something up ahead, the footfalls of your companions grow incredibly quiet. And for the first time, kind of proceeding,
Floating, so.
yeah, proceeding in a relatively stealthy manner. You go 10 feet, 20 feet, the sound of fluttering every now and then. You can feel wind, not quite a breeze, not fresh enough. This is stale air moving, but down this cavern, and you hear with that the flutter. Just these stones becoming more and more like these jutting, almost like hands reaching out. You can see like individual fingers. They're not fingers; these are natural stone. But as you walk in this place, you already feeling like you walk towards something inexplicably drawing you closer, and all of you, to some degree, kind of psyching each other out. It's hard not to feel as if the earth itself tries to pull you down. 50 feet, 60 feet. You come to the edge of a corner, and you see bunch of these stones sticking up kind of towards you, but then off maybe 50, 60 feet away, as you round the corner, there are a series of half pillars, natural stone. They look almost like stalagmites that have been stuck up and then cut off. Really more pillars, 5 or 6 of them with different heights, and you see on the very highest one a fluttering red cloak that hangs in the air. Oakfeld, in the back of your mind, you hear, "I'm waiting for you, Oakfeld. Come forward. Claim your destiny."
Okay. I should lead.
And I'm just gonna take a little bit of a brisker pattern going forward.
Okay. Take a brisker pattern. Begin to walk. And for all of you, so quiet. This unbroken sound, just this little cloth fluttering in the distance. Suddenly, a little blue light and Oakfeld, the flower, walking down the hall.
How far away is this cloak?
About 60 feet at this point.
I'm gonna try to keep pace and slow him down and be like, hey, just be careful. Don't go on ahead.
As you do, you can see the cloak, this empty hood, kind of shift and turn. And you see-
Magical looking shift and turn?
Would you like to make
unnatural?
It
Or
is
like
an
someone's
empty
wearing
cloak hanging in the air, and the head of it empty. You can see the back of the hood, black on the inside of this red cloak turned towards you.
Oh,
I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
I was like,
Waiting
waiting
for it.
for
yeah.
let's see.
Oh, delicious.
My legs are barely working.
Oh no.
So I apologize, I'm knocking some things down here. Okay, so I'm gonna need you guys to fix a few things. That red robed figure is on the highest of those columns, and the skeleton that fell down is standing even with the other skeleton on a column.
this one here?
Yeah.
Up here.
So as this figure turns, almost at the same time as the head turns, no, you guys are at the end over there, so this kind of rounds like this. You guys came around the corner.
Okay.
This is what you see. Now, you guys can arrange yourself roughly where you want to be, as long as you're within the front 3 kind of spaces.
I would be in the front.
Front 3 rows. Sorry.
I am
Leading in front.
100%
I-
not in the front.
I was definitely trying to keep pace with him, so I'm about there, I think.
You and I are bringing up the rear like,
Okay, give me 1 second here. Alrighty. So, anybody with a natural 20?
no.
Natural 20
Hey.
for Aka, right up at the top. All right. What about 25 to 20? 24 for Shay.
26.
26 for Eleanor. All right. I just wrote Aka, Eleanor. That's not what these are. 26, 24, natural 20. All right. 20 to 15. Ooh.
Oh, that's a gap.
15 to 10. Ooh, I love this. 10, Oakfeld, what do you get?
4.
What did you get?
4. All right.
Oh,
Brenna? 8. Hey, look at that. Not last. All right.
Advantage on initiative rolls, my ass.
Alrighty, so just give me 1 moment here. So, the way that this is going to work, Aka, you are going to go first. Too loud? Aka, you're going to go first. Eleanor, you are second. Shay, you are third. Then we're going to see some action from our friends here. Brenna, you are after that. And Oakfeld, you bring up the rear. Very much so. Aka, you see the cloak turn, and as the head turns, you see these skeletal creatures suddenly, as one, the legs moving in uniform, step out from behind these rocks, breaking up the sight lines.
Cool. I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern
Okay.
right here, which I think gets all of them except for this guy.
Fantastic. 1 second here.
30-foot cube within range.
Oh, I know. Give me a second.
Okay.
High level campaigns.
Yeah, I know. Lots of different rules. I'm actually not looking up a rule, though. I'm looking up the stat block just because I want to pull that up before I... Oh, right. I put it all on the same thing. Alrighty. So, as you go to cast this...
Oh no.
What level is this cast at?
Hypnotic pattern is a 3rd level spell.
Okay. As you go to cast the spell, you can see this wraith-like creature kind of turn and look at you, and for a moment you feel your heart seize. But you seem to be able to pass through this effect. You can cast it as normal.
Okay, cool. Oh wait, yeah, they just all make wisdom saving throws.
Sounds good. That's gonna be an 11.
Yeah, that doesn't beat it.
Yeah. So what happens to them?
So any of them who failed become charmed for the duration, up
You
to
can
a minute.
see all of a sudden these calligraphy-like glyphs grow out of Akka's arm and flash across the space, and suddenly, like green strobe lights, they form complex patterns across the space. They seem unaffected, as if they can't be charmed.
Dang. Okay. I think I'm gonna just kind of get behind this here stone with some movement. Be kind of just floating off the ground about a foot.
Are you over there? Okay,
Behind you.
fantastic. So you could just kind of stand behind the stone, floating
Yeah,
just a bit.
like, so,
Yeah.
kind of trying to get a good line of sight.
You would imagine, in general, you have pretty good cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's your turn.
I think. Let me just double check. I don't think I have a bonus action I want to use right now. I'll shove one. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm gonna shove this one towards me to try to knock it down onto these two.
Okay. What is the DC on that saving throw?
Let's see. Does it get the bonus +2 for my?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay, then that is a DC 20.
Oh no, sorry. The saving throw doesn't. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the saving throw doesn't. It's added to your attack, your
My attack.
artificer spell attack rolls. Sorry, this is an artificer spell, right?
It's part of the telekinetic.
Yeah,
the
then this doesn't apply because
Psi-Finder.
it's not an artificer
Or-
spell.
yeah.
But if that was like a cantrip or something, or an artificer spell, yes, it would.
Okay. Then yeah, it's a DC 18 without
DC
that.
18. Okay. Just making sure. Technically, I guess. Okay, fair enough. You yank this thing forward, and you hear this as it just gets pulled off. You can put it prone at the base. It doesn't quite knock over the other skeletons, but certainly you yank it off. You would imagine as it hits, it probably does take a little bit of damage. Fantastic. Anything else?
That is it.
Fantastic. Eleanor, you are up. Shay, you're on deck. You see Akka kind of fly forward, get a little bit lower on this thing, and then reach out as one of these skeletons is yanked off this pillar.
All right. So I'm going to move towards this rock here.
Okay?
This is me, yes.
Yes, that is temporary Eleanor.
Yes.
Telenor.
So I'm going to move like here-ish, so I
Okay.
guess I'll have line of sight.
Yeah,
And I'm going to use my bonus action to activate my rapier.
sure. So as you whistle, this sword right up at your side.
And then using that same bonus action, I'm going to command it to attack the skeleton in direct line of sight.
Sure. So this thing through the darkness. You're holding your torch in one hand, correct?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. That's fine. That was terrible.
What'd you roll?
Okay, it's a 14.
14. You see it almost strike the skeleton. It takes the sword and just parries it. Ting, the sword before self-correcting and kind of turning its path back towards you. Misses, unfortunately.
No, that's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to look at the hooded figure and use a
Sure.
panache to be like, can I see him clearly enough?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna like just basically point at him and be like, it's you and me. I'm going to attempt to give him disadvantage and everyone else.
Fantastic.
It's fine. So it's a 24.
As you say that, the hood slowly turns to you. This is the speed of combat, but still, it feels as if time slows. And you hear in your mind, this is but a proxy, but I can turn the luck against you. You see, all of a sudden, as if this would have worked from very far away, Zystrees uses legendary resistance through this proxy.
That's one. At least it's burned. This
So,
turn.
Anything else, Eleanor?
I don't really think I can do anything else. I already used my bonus action, so
Fair enough.
that's it.
Shay, you're up. What do you want to do?
What can I see from where I am?
You have your night vision mask on. So kind of looking down this hallway, you can see a couple of skeletons off to the side. You see one suddenly hurtle about 5 feet through the air and fall. And then when that falls, you see up this kind of fluttering cloak. And then a skeleton standing in front of him.
And how tall is that big rock?
The big one,
Yeah.
about 8 feet tall, highest point. It gets fairly close to the ceiling in places, a lot of these top structures.
Sure.
It does seem to be opening up slightly as you continue.
Okay. I guess I'll go up and hit the skeleton in the front. Kind of
Okay.
in front of Akka.
The one that's prone.
Yeah.
So you run about 10 feet and then leap, kind of hurtling by Akka's slightly floating form. And as you slide in the sand, go ahead and make your attack roll.
That is a 25.
Is this a prone one?
Oh, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah,
27.
cool. Go ahead and roll damage on that. Yeah, that certainly hits.
8.
8. And I believe when you have a prone enemy, I believe it's an automatic critical with a melee attack, isn't it? Or is it an unconscious enemy? Give me one sec.
Prone.
I think it's just advantage and unconscious the
The
automatic.
problem
Are you
is now that
thinking
we
of
have
a coup de
Starfinder,
grace?
Mm.
Yeah.
I think you might be thinking of a coup de
gives
grace.
you advantage. Yep,
Yeah.
cool.
That's really fun.
Alrighty. So you hit, what was damage?
8.
8. Fantastic.
Nice.
How many slots do we have?
23.
23. And remind me of the kind of damage this is?
Magical blind.
Magical bludgeoning?
Some prone characters, everybody would be
Okay.
tripping.
You fought skeletons before, and as you hit this, you don't feel that the bludgeoning impact of your blows is doing any extra damage. Looking at these creatures, all heavily armored, unlike the other skeletons you fought, probably protects them from the bludgeoning weakness that they had prior. But still doing damage.
7.
7 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Last one. Sorry, 27.
27. Yeah, that hits.
13.
13. Dang. Okay.
Math.
So you slide in the sand, your leg kind of impacting with the shoulder. This creature trying to get up is like you kick the arm out from under it, the arm actually snapping backwards. And as it kind of goes down, you kick it right in the face and the neck cracks with the head. Whips around, kind of fixing itself.
And back where I started.
Fantastic. You leap. The sand pulling away, kind of hitting Akka in the armor, but you end up right back where you were. You can put Shay back where she was, please. Thank you very much, Shay. That is your turn. That brings us to these foes. So, you watch as each of them kind of takes a step back in unison and runs 10 feet forward before leaping 15 feet through the air. Akka, you recognize elements of psychic
That too.
psychic energy,
no, they're psychic.
telepathic energy projecting them along. This is like a oh yeah. They all
like
run
these
as
guys
long as
do,
they can run 10 feet. They can jump 15, and that is including over obstacles.
including Red Hood.
No, he is staying where he is.
All of them kind of doing this kind of thing.
They run 10. They go 15. The one furthest. So actually, all of them. That's only using 10 feet. They have 20 more. You can push them all around you, Aka. God damn it. The one that can't reach you, that guy, he's going to go forward towards Eleanor with the torch.
That's fine.
This one
It's
goes
fine.
this way.
Yep, sure. The other ones can all be around you.
This one. Oh, jeez. How do they just jump around this rock to get?
Yeah. So you
behind?
watch, there's a few steps, and then suddenly they leap and fly through the air, landing pretty hard. Then you are going to take so many attacks.
Oh no.
You guys positioned yourself in a really
Is this one within 10 feet of me?
yes.
not
that is
fair.
a
I
good
get an
thing.
attack
Wait,
opportunity.
you mean grouping all together is not a good idea?
It's
What?
really like you stuck Aka out in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, Aka ran up by himself.
Yeah.
What was that?
Aka stuck himself there.
I get an attack opportunity. I have
What is
Sentinel.
it? Oh, you haven't rolled it yet.
What is that? Let me just
A
take look at
19?
my
19, 19
Plus-
hits.
Yeah, okay.
So this one, as it continues to move towards Aka, Oakfeld, one of your roots, out and kind of grabs onto the arm. What you got for damage?
A 10.
10?
10 plus 4 plus a d6. Plus 4.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
14 damage. As this root lashes out and grabs the arm, kind of wraps around the tibia. Sorry, the fibula. That's down there. The radius and the ulna suddenly together, compressing and shattering. This creature kind of turns to you, but turns back to Aka. It is stuck where it is. It stops this movement, but it was stopping there anyways. Aka, how many are in base contact with you? That's 4?
it looks like 4. Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
You are going to be taking 8 attacks.
Too many. It's too many attacks.
So, we'll just do one at a time. The first one, that is going to be 16 to hit and
Miss.
11 to hit. Yeah,
Miss.
rough. You see these swords kind of glowing with psionic energy as they miss. Oh my god. That is a 12
Miss.
and an 8.
Miss. Alright.
Putting those dice over there.
No, put them back. Put them back.
Okay. Maybe this one will hit. No, 22.
Miss.
Ah. All right, the other one's lower. That's 3. Final one. Jumanji's. That's gonna miss, and that's gonna miss. So they rush forwards. Ting, 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 ting. You can just hear, and for all of you, it's almost like Aka like disappears under a clump of these things. You're ting, 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 and it feels like he's being carved up. And then suddenly he kind of stands up, most of them being forced back. All of these octopus-like appendages shoving people backwards. They kind of back into your back. You stand still surrounded. But fantastic, the AC. They rolled so bad. They're like not bad enemies either. All right, those are the Death Pledge Warriors. This moves us up
Death
to...
Pledge
Pledge
Warriors.
Warriors. Ooh.
Let's
I
move
like that.
us to...
Sounds like they're all in one turn.
Sorry, my mouse is acting up. Here we go. Okay, so. Oh, I love you guys. You watch as this creature kind of, this cloak-like object suddenly begins to ruffle and ruffle and ruffle, and then black smoke begins to pour forth. He's going to cast Cloud Kill, 5th level.
Oh!
So I need everybody in there, I believe, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Very
Give me just
upsetting.
1 second to double check on that. Constitution saving throw, please.
I now have resistance.
Am I
or
close enough to
advantage
do
on
that?
this saving throw,
Huh?
right?
Am I within that range too?
All of you are within this
Damn
range.
it. 'Cause I
This,
have-
this
That's open.
cloud, it spreads over a 20-foot radius.
I've got the
Natural
cloak on,
20.
right? So I have the.
I got a natural 1.
the-
Resistance to spells? Yes, you do.
That's okay though, because I have
Cool,
plus
cool,
9 to
cool.
con saving throws.
I got a 25.
Well, we'll see.
25, okay.
22.
22.
17. I'm gonna flash of genius that and make it a 22.
Okay.
I got a natural 1 for a total of 10.
Okay. So, everybody was what, over 21?
Yeah, I'm natural 20, but it's a total of 21.
Okay. You just succeed.
Nice.
You fail.
Oh yeah,
However,
big
all
time.
of you are taking damage. Give me 1 second.
That die
It's
goes to
actually
dice
easier
jail.
just to roll it in Google because it's a lot of dice. All right, so for all of you, You are taking, wow. You guys are taking 18 points of damage. Brenna, you are taking 36 points of poison damage. This
Hardy.
begins to choke you, and as you kind of struggle to hold your breath, you feel the tendrils of this black smoke clawing into your throats. You feel it in your nose and partially in your eyes, almost trying to twist into any cavity it can get into. These vapors, heavier than air, do begin to sink and drift to the floor, but they're going into every opening in your bodies. You'd imagine staying in this, probably not the best thing to do. This creature kind of drifts maybe a foot back, staying out of this cloud. That being said, that is its turn, and that brings us to...
I'm going to use my reaction to take half damage.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
that's, what, 9?
Yeah, so as this comes, you see it coming and throw yourself back a little bit, just almost out of range, halving the damage. And actually, no, so you halved it, and it's halved again. Wait, are you using
So it's
evasion?
9.
Yeah, uncanny dodge. Use reaction, take half
Sure.
damage.
Okay, fantastic.
It only works for
Take half damage. Yeah, evasion is for dexterity saves. Okay, cool. So you only take half damage, being able to throw yourself partially out of the way. But this entire space now filled with a thick yellow cloud of poisonous smoke. Brenna, what would you like to do in Oakfield? You are on deck.
I would like to go into a rage.
All right, you rage.
And let's see.
Is the music playing, Matt? It's very quiet to the point that I cannot hear it.
We
That's
can hear it.
Okay,
I can
good,
hear it.
good, good. It's directed towards you guys, so you guys probably can, but I just want to make sure it's playing.
All right. And as I go into a rage, I become surrounded by multicolored protective lights. I gain a +1 bonus to AC, and any ally within 10 feet of me also gains this.
You watch as Brenna yells suddenly from across the cavern here. Little elements of pebbles raining down. The ceiling very insecure, but as they do, several of them kind of fall and stay around Brenna, begin to glow brightly. And you can see as the other pebbles fall, they move and kind of knock the pebbles away.
All right. My friend Akka is in trouble.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm going to come around here.
Okay.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, and I'm gonna attack this guy right here.
Okay. And remember, as you do that, you're staying within the cloud kills range.
Oh shoot! How big is the cloud
It is a
again?
20-foot sphere, so
So I was like here.
Was it centered on me?
that was drifted over back.
Oh, I can fly. All right. I think I can make it over here.
Okay.
Does that get me out of the cloud?
Floating, maybe.
Where's the center?
No, you're not on the cloud. If you take another 5 feet back, you'll be out of the cloud.
Then I can't reach anybody.
It's weird.
All right. Fuck it. I'm gonna stay there. And hit the guy. This guy who's in front of me.
Go for it.
All right. That's a critical fail.
Nice.
Second one in what, 2 minutes?
You slide through kind of coughing and hacking, and as you do, you just have to close your eyes and stop. You don't even swing. You're like choking in this stuff.
All right. And then I try to regroup as best I can, use my extra attack, try again. That's better. 23 to hit.
So these little brightly colored stones, as you start to cough, suddenly begin to swirl around and create a slight space where you can see and breathe. And in that moment, you take a deep breath and swing. That hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
10.
10? Very nice. Pingo. All right. What kind of damage is that?
Just regular old stabby. Oh no, it's an axe, so slashing.
Slash. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. No worries.
Not bludgeoning, if that's what you were asking.
Nope, not what I was asking. Alrighty. Anything else?
Nope. Well, I don't think I can move 5 more
I
feet.
don't believe so. What is your movement? Because
It's
you have to
35
count it out.
because I am small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's
Unfortunate. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
15.
15. You're going to take a total of 20 points of poison damage. As you still, the little stones spinning and creating this protective field aren't enough to keep it out of your throat. It begins to claw its way, almost like it has intelligence, into your mouth. That is Brenna's turn. Oakfeld, what would you like to do?
If
Akka,
I
you're on deck.
Take a step to the left, would I be out of the smoke?
Oh, I can see.
Maybe
If
one
you
step.
take a step to the right, you mean? Oh, no, to your left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oakville is sitting next to Shay.
That's me.
Nope. There we go.
Hopefully next week we'll actually have Eleanor, but we'll see.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So I'm gonna do
This
attack this one
replacement
right
is quite good, actually.
Yeah, I like her.
2 for my first attack, so I definitely missed.
That misses, yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of move, you just send a little vine out into the dark. It like towel whip makes the sound and then comes back. Nothing in the fog.
Alright, I'm gonna do my second attack. An 8 plus 9.
For 17,
Yep.
that just hits.
Nice. Alright.
Ouch. These guys.
Squishy.
A 9.
9 points of damage?
Yep.
Very nice.
Plus 4 plus a d6. Hold on. Plus 4.
Okay. Nice.
So 19.
So, you lash out, missing the first time. With the other one, you go slightly to the right, and you feel it hit bone. You wrap around whatever it is that you grab, and you yank hard. You feel a snap. Certainly damaging, although you have trouble visualizing in this space.
I'm also going to use my Polar Master bonus action to attack with the side of my spear.
Sure. So you spin, kind of getting ready to turn around and hit. Go ahead and make your attack.
D20. 14. plus
14.
9.
That hits, yeah.
Yep. 2 plus 4.
6 damage?
6, yep.
Awesome. Again, lashing out with the side and kind of clanging off the armor. Clang, but you imagine still some impact there. A little damage for sure. Anything else, Oakville?
That's it.
Awesome. Akka, you're up, and you in this swirl, surrounded by the undead, psionic energy firing across you, and then suddenly filled with poisonous smoke. What would you like to do?
Is there smoke all the way up as well? Does it
It's
reach the
beginning to
ceiling?
sink down, but yeah, at the moment it is reaching the ceiling.
And it's like 35 feet up? What's the height of
This
the
area
ceiling
is
here?
currently heavily obscured, but when you came in, roughly 30 feet up, but as you're going forwards, it's going higher and higher.
Okay. I think I'm gonna try to get up as high as I can,
Sure.
but I'm going to cast haste on myself
Okay, yeah.
before I make my moves, and then go straight up. I guess the 30 feet.
Okay.
And then I believe, because it is the spell storing item of my Artificer's class, I can use the action to simulate the spell that is stored within the item,
You can.
which is Shatter on all those guys.
Fantastic. What level is that cast at?
That is cast at level 2.
You cast it. Nothing happens.
Oh, okay. And then I'm going.
It's counterspelled.
Okay. Then I'm going to shout to the group. I'm going after the caster. Cover these guys. And I'm like, here, right?
And so as you go
I'm gonna
20
go
feet
this
up,
way.
you pierce through this cloud. You have clear vision and you fly over the cloud and kind of into a clear space.
Up around here.
Fantastic.
As much out of there as I can.
Yeah, you can get up to about 40 feet in that part of the ceiling.
So that and then I'm bonus action trying to shove this guy.
Go for it.
He has to make it.
Yeah, you did.
It was a DC 18.
Yeah, he failed that. And so
Oh.
you watch. 5 feet, drifts back, floating.
Oh man.
You can see that he was hovering in that place. He doesn't have legs. So he's just flying 5 feet behind that.
Yeah, but still, it's
Yeah.
get
The
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, there you go. It's really the spirit of the thing. Anything else, Akka?
That's my 2 actions and my bonus action and my movement. I think that's all I want to do right now.
Fantastic. Eleanor,
the
what would you
list.
like
I
to
do
do? Shay, you're on deck.
Okay, so I'm guessing that because Oakfeld moved over, that kind of breaks my ability to use the rakish audacity. Because he's within the 5 feet.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, so, and everyone in that
It doesn't
cloud
do
is heavily obscured, right?
Yes, the area is heavily obscured.
Okay,
So you're pretty well hidden.
Advantage.
All right, so there's no like real line of sight at anyone, is there?
Not really. So from where you're standing, where are you?
I don't know.
I'm, like,
All the
right
way in
here.
that corner?
Yeah.
No.
You can see kind of behind you because the cloud doesn't extend over there,
Yeah.
but you can't see through the cloud anybody currently.
Okay. So and
Oh,
then
no, sorry. There is a guy like right in front of you. So you're seeing like
so
you know,
I know about him.
Yeah.
Okay. So
he's in the cloud too, for what it's worth, but you can see like his arms, the front of him.
okay. So I guess I'll just do a regular melee attack with my rapier in
Make
my
an attack,
hand.
yeah.
No instant
Oh.
sneak attack. Rip. It's fine. Oh, that's not great, but that's okay. That's a 19.
19 hits. As the sword comes flying back to your hand, you use the momentum to thrust forward, and you pierce the armor itself. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so that's a total of 10 damage.
Nice. It pierces through, and then you pull the sword out. You hear the shredding of metal. Seems hurt.
Okay, so and I'm going to then move away. And I believe because I've made a melee attack, fancy footwork means he cannot make an attack of opportunity.
The creature that you attacked cannot make an attack of opportunity against you. So you dance away. Your feet kind of carried you under a swing of a blade from the fog.
Okay, can I see well enough to move towards him, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to kind of stick on the right side from your
Okay.
perspective to do that, but yeah.
and I'm guessing here is out of the cloud from what out here.
Yeah, right there is where the first clear square after the cloud.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna use my bonus action then to send the blade towards the red cloak.
Fantastic. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
So that's also 19 because of fucking
19
reliable
just
talent.
hits.
Reliable talent just saved my ass twice. Alright, that's
Is it
awesome.
reliable talent just for ability checks?
I thought it was for anything that I can add my proficiency bonus to.
Oh, yeah, let's try. Yeah, I think that would work, but you're fine.
Okay, cool. I'm like,
I couldn't remember if it was ability check specifically or not. But
no.
yeah, no worries.
Okay, so that is 10 again.
10 again. What kind of damage is this?
This is also piercing, still piercing.
Piercing damage.
Piercing, but with a magical weapon, if that matters.
So because it is a magical weapon, it does matter. You do the full damage. How much was that?
10.
10. Okay. This sword flies through, and you just see the cloak tear a little bit through the back. The hood shifts in your direction. Anything else?
That's all I can do.
Shay, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna activate haste.
Okay. You realign the key in your body, and you can feel suddenly every system of your organism goes into overdrive.
Item speed. And then there's enough space that I can go over the top of the skeletons, just kind of like use their shoulders as a
I'm
wall.
going to say
Probably
you're a
just go
monk, and
over.
since you can run up a wall, go ahead and make an
Up to
acrobatics check just for
here,
shits and giggles.
and
But yeah, you can certainly
shoot.
try.
It's like a Legolas. Like,
Yes.
26.
26. So you leap, kind of going completely over the first one. You touch briefly on the shoulder of the second, but you leap off that, and you can land over on the other side, no problem.
Perfect.
Over where you going?
Going up to our friend there.
Yeah.
Like onto one of these little.
I mean, up close enough to hit him.
Alright, so probably onto this guy.
Yeah, that'll be the best one.
Is he still 5 feet back, or did he drift forward again?
He's 5 feet back. So actually, yeah, technically Shay could be on the tallest
So
one.
this
Just
is
put him on the
just-
ground, and yeah, we know where he is.
He's up there.
Here, put this under him.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes.
Oh wait, I've got
A grand, though. Is there a clear one?
So you get up kind of right in front. You run across, stepping on the one shoulder, and you leap. You land kind of in the sand right at the base. You use the head of your spear to stick in and plant, and you pole vault yourself up to the top. And use that momentum to bring the spear down. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
A 27
27 hits, yeah.
Rocks, man.
or
Absolutely.
7.
7 points of damage. Fantastic. Okay.
Perfect. It's a 25,
25 hits.
11,
Dang. All right.
and 26.
26 hits.
13.
13. All right,
And
so
I want to end on that back rock.
excellent. You leap forwards, striking again and again and again. Oh, I thought I gave him.
Of course,
This one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I did.
This one's
What a
easier.
shame. You strike again and again and again, and as you hit, there is substance to this cloak. It may be filled with this black like smog, but you feel your punches doing something, especially as your ki channels through creating this magical energy. You're doing damage. It feels like it's pretty hurt. You look at it, and the cloak is tattered and shredded, and the hood turns to you. Anything else, Shay?
That's it for me.
Okay. The eyes or the hood seems to follow you as you leap and kind of jump off to the side. The cloak flutters once. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please. You're good at these.
Good at these. 27.
27. Suddenly, from the cloak, there is a sickening yellow beam. And as it goes past you and hits the wall disintegrates. You watch as a streak of this wall disintegrates deep into the thing, just puncturing, raining down, becoming sand. It turns, and all you hear in your mind, you can't run forever. Anything else? Or no, sorry. That is its turn. That is all it's going to do. The other skeletons, however, there are two that are going to turn and face Brenna, and the two behind are going to close in on Oakville. Actually, all the other ones are closing in on Oakville.
Oh no.
They run through the poison unaffected.
So I'm guessing this guy will move up to give room for his friend.
Yeah.
Over
Just
here.
shoving the rock out of the way, it's fine.
And then these two are staying.
Yeah, and they're gonna turn around and hit Brenna. So, Brenna, you are taking 4 attacks
Bring
from
it.
the first guy.
Oh, I have an attack of opportunity on one of them.
Go ahead and make that first. Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
A 9
9 is
plus, I believe 9. Yeah, 9.
9 plus 9.
18.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. As that one kind of one of them runs by. You can take the one in the actually.
Can I
so
do
this-
one that I got weak?
Yeah, so this actually really changes things. You can move that one square forward, and the other one is unable to move by because it's not. You can't pass. it
Oh, so this
back-
one this
back
way?
there and back there. Yeah, the two clumsy to really move through ally squares.
8 plus 4 plus a d6. 6.
Nice.
6. Fantastic. All right.
Plus 4 plus 6. 18.
18.
Dang.
This creature looking pretty rough. As that last kind of hit strikes into it, the bones rattle within the armor. This thing is really badly hurt.
Nice.
Anything else?
That's it.
Oh, that's your
Yeah,
attack of opportunity. My fault. All right.
Yeah, nothing else happened.
Yeah, I know, right?
End of turn.
Brenna.
That's it. Start at the top of the turn order.
Okay, you're taking 2 attacks, or you're taking 4 attacks actually. The first 2 are an 18.
Oh, sorry. I can never remember if it is the armor class. Does it hit or not?
If it ties.
Yeah.
I thought it hits.
It's a hit.
Okay,
Tie
so we'll
goes
go
to
with
the
that, and we'll
attack
check it up
rating.
later. That's
That
what I
hits.
thought.
No, it's fine.
Because that's what happened with you. So.
Yeah.
So that is 1 hit. The other one is just a 14, so that's not a hit, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so love that.
Love that journey for me.
I love it for you, not me. You are going to go ahead and take 11 points of slashing damage. And as that hits, kind of cutting across your rage, having it, suddenly it's like the hit has a shadow that hits again.
Ooh.
You take an additional 6 points of psychic damage. Sorry, force damage.
I would like to use my reaction for an unstable backlash to
Go
roll in the
for it.
wild magic table.
Go for it. Yeah, I love it. And that was including the AC change that you made with your...
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
All right. Oh, the bolt of light shooting from my chest. Hello, old friend.
Fantastic.
All right. I am going to the dude who just hit me. I'm just gonna turn to him and be like, "Shing!"
Okay, fantastic. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
So, it's actually a Constitution saving throw, DC 17.
Ooh.
It's not that much damage. Don't get excited.
Oh, they don't get a bonus to that.
Not
That is a 19.
Well,
Unfortunately.
la-di-da then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You roar as you're hit, and you see this kind of glow in your chest and strike out. In the fog, doesn't hit. But fantastic. The other ones, Oakfeld, you are taking. 6. Yeah, 6. Although that strike did kind of save you an attack. So they're 2 attacks. That's nice. So the first 2, that is going to be a 9 and a 10, which definitely don't hit. Second 2, it's a 15 and a 14. I'm running out of dice.
Yeah.
Whole dice go to jail.
Yeah, I know. Natural 20 for the first one, and only a 14 for the second. But that nat 20,
All right, I'll take it. Let's go.
that is going to be 26 points of slashing damage. That's max damage.
All right.
Doubled. And then immediately after that happens, as a secondary hit, you take an additional 8 points of force damage that
Right.
slams into you. Almost as if a psychic echo of this weapon hits immediately after. That's all of them, I think, against you.
Yep.
Yeah, they're terrible. All right, that's their turns. That brings us to Brenna. Brenna,
All right.
you have 2 of these things directly on you.
I
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna hit the one that hit me before
Yeah,
again.
go for it.
That's gonna be 23 to hit
23 hits.
for
How?
12 damage.
12 damage? Okay. And this is the one that you already hit?
This is the one that I tried to hit with my
Gotcha. Cool.
chest beam.
So you strike it with the axe. It rents into the armor. Pull back. It just hisses at you.
I'm gonna hit him again.
Sure.
21 to hit.
21 hits.
That's gonna be 13 damage.
Nice. Okay. With those 2 hits, you just roar, the light bursting from your chest, and you just slam, are just hacking into this thing. It's trying to hit you back, but the force of your blows stagger it a little bit. Fantastic. Anything else, Brenna?
This cloud is still hanging around, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Can I, if I move like a bit, I know I'll take attacks of opportunity, but can I move, where do I have to go to be out of the cloud?
To be out of the cloud right now, you'll need to be 5 feet back.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Sure.
move back here.
You're going to take 2 attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
First one, only a 12.
Nope.
Second one, much better, 22.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Fantastic. And so that 22 hit is going to deal
These guys are hitting pretty hard.
4 points of slashing damage. And immediately after, 9 points of force damage as it into your chest. That echo harder than the original hit.
Good compared to you.
Yeah.
That is their turn. That brings us, sorry, Brenna. You did those attacks. You took a step back. Anything
Those
else?
were the attacks of opportunity. No, I'm good.
Okay. Oakfeld, what would you like to do? Akka, you're on deck.
I'm going to use my 10th level ranger variant spell, Nature's Veil, which lets me turn invisible until my next round.
Sure.
And then I think I'm going to move as far as I can go right here. And then, would I be able to hit him with that 10 feet reach?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hit.
After you go, I forgot to do a really important thing with one of these monsters, so it'll take a turn after you instead. That's
Okay.
fine.
Oh no.
Quick, figure out which one it is.
It should be pretty obvious which one it is.
And I'm going to attack this one coming out of
Invisibility?
Yeah,
Cool.
the one that you had already hit, or the one that.
either one.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack
The
roll.
one I hit already, actually, yeah.
Make your attack roll.
You're invisible until the start of your next turn.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, I have rooted defense, so anyone who's 30 feet within me gets difficult terrain. 17 plus 9.
Never
on
really
the first
moved a
hit.
whole lot. They only leapt. But what was it again?
17 plus 9.
To
my
hit?
first
To
Yeah.
hit? Yeah, that definitely hits.
That's 6 plus 4 plus 4 is 14.
Okay, so this skeleton is already almost torn apart, the armor falling out. You could feel and hear the bones rattling. With this final strike, the side of your spear, this thing just shatters into the sand. And you see this kind of psychic wave across the sand.
Nice. Can I reach this second one?
You have 10-foot reach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you absolutely can.
I'm still confused how diagonal.
Yeah,
work a little bit.
and that
Not
rock, is that
normal
like your
money.
waist level? Actually, you're taller as a plant, so you can easily reach over and whack him, yeah.
Alright, so my second attack,
Hit him with the whack.
it's a 9. Plus 9, 18.
That hits.
Nice. That's a 5, plus 4, 9, plus, no, plus d6. So just 9.
9?
Yep.
Still pretty good.
And then I'm going to bonus action, back of spear.
Yeah, go ahead. You bring the spear around using the butt of it to drive again.
That's a 4 to miss.
Yeah. So, with just the back of the spear, you almost use it like it has the front, and you just miss by a couple of inches. So, the Spectre of the Charred Mind forgot to go, so they're going to go now. They have used their 6th, they have used their 5th. Dope.
No,
Damn
not dope.
No, I don't like
Well,
it when
I mean,
DMs say
the
dope.
dopest things they can't really do. Oh, you know what? This is fantastic.
Oh no.
The hood turns to you, Shay, and you hear in your mind, I told you you can't run forever. It's going to cast Magic Missile at 5th level.
Magic missile.
Oh, I thought you said whistle.
Yeah, unless she has shield, which, as a monk, probably not.
She does have spells.
I do.
Okay, so because this is at 5th level, this is 3, 4, 5, 64.
So many
I need to get more
D4s.
dice. I forgot to pull out a good amount of dice for this. I probably should
Magic
have.
missile is
Not too bad.
ridiculous.
I got some
yeah,
dice.
at higher
you got,
levels.
you want these?
Yeah.
back?
You take 21 points of force damage.
Uh,
as these all hit you.
they hit simultaneously. Can I use my reaction to psionic help you not take damage?
To psionic undo.
The psionic power.
Read it out.
Let me just pull up the reaction here. Protective field. When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die and reduce the damage taken by 1d6 plus 5.
Yeah, so in total, all of that is from one attack, so you're reducing the entirety of that by 1d6 plus 5. You can certainly do that. Yeah.
Ooh, minus 6.
So you take 14 points of force damage. You see all of these points of light streaking towards you, and then suddenly this psionic barrier, you can see several of these points stop, kind of shaking in place with the energy, and fizzle out, but several of them do strike home. Okay, that was their turn. Back into the regular initiative order. Akka, you are up. Eleanor, you are on deck.
Okay, so as I am hasted, I can theoretically use 2 cantrips, correct?
If you really wanted, yeah, actually.
Cool.
Light
So-
and then light again.
I don't know if I've ever seen somebody use 2 cantrips in a turn. It's definitely
well, I think
legal.
You're
That's,
about to.
I don't think anybody would ever think to do that because it doesn't.
Oh, he's got a plan. He's got a plan.
Okay, okay. Let's see how this goes. I love it.
I'm gonna use Mind Sliver.
You know what? I haven't been on the
on
combat
this-
camera, so I'll
this
switch over to
dude
that.
here.
Sorry about
Mind Sliver is a fun spell.
that. Okay. That's a saving throw, I believe.
Succeed on an int saving throw,
An int saving throw.
and the DC is 20.
That is going to be a 26. As you push with this mind sliver, you see and you can visualize a spike of psionic energy right towards the creature. The hood turns, and there is a pulse of psionic energy unlike anything you've ever felt. And this just stops dead and is shattered in the air. You briefly brush across an intellect far vaster than anything that could just exist in that form.
Okay.
You feel as if Zeistris is projecting his energy through it.
Oh, that's rough. Okay. I think I'm still gonna go for the double cantrip special. Using the cantrip which I've chosen to go into the all-purpose tool. Sacred flame.
Nice.
Okay, so suddenly one of these little mechanical appendages up, and it's like a predator laser, and it just fires off. Suddenly, on the other end, this flame just appears.
Great.
Yeah,
So he's got to make a dex saving throw now.
he's not gonna. That's gonna be a. Oh, it's still not bad. 14, but that's a fail.
That's a fail.
It's higher than I thought it was. Gonna
Yeah. Okay, so then he takes 3d8 plus 5 magic damage. Radiant damage.
Cool.
For what it's worth.
be. Very little.
Gotta find all my d8s.
You need some d8s?
I got
Yeah, you
plenty.
need one.
It's just
Okay.
that like finding needles in haystacks. There, I got it. That is 17 points of radiant damage.
17 points of radiant damage.
Gonna use my psionic boost to add a d6 plus 5. To that.
Okay.
Excellent.
Plus 7 more.
Nice.
So, as this happens, you kind of, the radiant flame beginning to kind of flicker up and around the cloak. The cloak turns. You can see the bottom shriveling and burning away.
For what it's worth, the last roll was, the 7 was force damage.
Not really worth
Not
anything, but I
radiant.
appreciate it. So,
Rather than the radiant
I
damage.
appreciate that. You see,
Damage types count.
the fire is really what's kind of burning away that radiant flame. And as it kind of begins to consume, the light actually creating shadows across the whole space. For those of you on the other side of this cloud of yellow toxic smoke, you can see for a moment from this brightness. It turns to you, Akka, and in your mind you hear, "Never gone. Not really." Gone. You can remove it from the battlefield.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I
Again,
like how you tumbled him.
Very much a projection of Zystri. It's not anywhere near the full power.
Phantom Ganon.
Yeah.
They called it.
Mhm.
Called
So, anything else, Akka?
Pretty upset that that has happened, actually. Probably gonna look over at this one, see that Brenna is being beset by them.
Get
Yeah.
the snot kicked out of her.
Telekinetic shove this guy back into the rocks there.
Yeah, you reach out with that psychic mind and yank it. Yeah. Go ahead. That's a dexterity save? it's just 5 feet
I
back?
Think I think it's a con save.
Okay. That's a
Strength
fail.
save. Strength save.
Still a fail.
So he gets pushed 5 feet back into the rock, I guess.
Roll a d6.
D6. 3.
You just hear, it just bounces back off.
That's my turn.
Fantastic. Akka, that is your turn. Eleanor, you're up. On the
Okay.
periphery of the battle, this bright glow. You see for a moment everything, and in your mind, that's kind of burned in. You have a rough idea as to where everybody is.
Okay. So, using that rough idea, I'm just gonna attack the one closest to me by using the range of the rapier to stay out of the cloud, which I'm assuming is still
Sure.
very much still there.
Absolutely. For a moment, you can see that kind of burnt in after image of that skeleton, and so you fire the rapier at it. Go ahead and roll your attack roll.
That is a 22.
22. That hits.
Okay. And that wouldn't be sneak attack, right? Because it knows I'm here. And there's no, like, reason for it to be sneak attack. I'm just asking because I can.
No, I can't give any reason.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Close for a couple different reasons, but not quite.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Oh! Nice. Max damage.
Nice.
12.
12
Piercing.
points of damage, and that was on the one that had been hurt previously, I believe.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. So that rapier kind of goes, it snaps the collarbone, the arm drops into the sand. It reaches down, picks up the weapon, and turns looking for you. Still alive, but badly hurt.
Okay.
Anything else?
I can't really. Actually, I can move underneath Akka, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna head over this way, and kind of actually sit pretty much below him. That's yeah.
Nice.
Yay.
To give myself eye line with
And to protect
what's going
the
on with
force field.
Brenna.
Okay, yeah. And so as you draw on this side, you can see just the periphery of the smoke now settling down. and you see Brenna kind of beset by a couple of undead. Casting your image or your eyes forward, you see Shay standing on top of a stone, just a little bit away.
Okay, actually, I still have my full action because that's a bonus action to use my rapier, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's.
Let's use your action to dash for no reason.
Haha.
I ran 60 feet in a circle and then 5 feet forward.
Just trying to get a lay of the land.
Yeah. It's got a lot of
can't.
energy I gotta get out, you know? What are you doing?
I'm gonna go here with the dash.
Okay, fantastic. So you go, you kind of leap onto the first one, use your momentum and kind of grab onto the second and hoist yourself up. You are now up and above. You can see just a little bit over the clouds. You can see the other undead. You have a better perspective from up here, certainly.
Yeah, so that's all I can do because that's my action.
Fantastic. Shay, suddenly from this cloud, you see Eleanor run around and kind of leap. Very unmonk-like, has to like grab herself up, but she does make it in two swoops.
Shay is gonna go for the round robin.
There you go. So suddenly Shay you see Shay shift back and then gone. White streak down the hallway. Kind of arriving at the one nearest Oakfeld first. This cloud kind of pulled with you, and you can see almost like a corridor through the cloud.
That's 26.
26 hits.
Someone over here.
7.
7 points of damage, all right?
Move on to the next one.
Okay. This one you hit as it reaches down for the axe, and the other arm off.
one.
It now has no arms and just kind of like hissing around at people.
26.
26 hits.
13.
13 points of damage, all right?
Moving my way around.
This one kind of spins on its heel and kind of comes to trying to figure out what happened to it. Go ahead and make your attack against the next one.
Is this one
So-
dead?
22.
22 hits.
Let's see. For 12.
12 points of damage, all right.
And the last one is a 21.
21 points. 21 hit, yeah. Go ahead.
For 6.
This one relatively untouched, so you kind of run to the end of it, right at the end of this strike, and you skid a little bit, and you just kind of ting tap it off, still enough to kind of crunch the shoulder armor in a little bit.
Too late to have her make a Constitution saving throw with that one.
No, certainly not.
Constitution saving throw.
That is going to be a 12.
That is a failure. He is stunned. To the end of my next turn.
He is not. As you hit, the elements of armor seem specifically designed to prevent not only that bludgeoning rattle, the same with the stun. Rough.
End up back where I started.
Fantastic. So you do that, you're like, damn it. All the way back. That skeleton that was turning, almost stopping on its heel, turns a whole nother rotation. The skeleton, you see the chunk of humerus that's still attached, like lash out at you, but it's only like 4 inches long. And then you just leap and right back on the spot. Fantastic. That is your turn, Shay. That brings us to our foes. So, we no longer have Race of the Charred Mind. We only have these Death Pledge Warriors. So, the 3 that are kind of over there, Oakville, you're visible again, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they're going to go towards you, those 3.
Bring it on.
And the other 2 are going to advance towards Brenna.
These two here?
Yep.
And these two here?
Yep, and they're,
Brenna's
sort of, they're
satisfied
all
with that as long
touching
as it's not in the
Oakville,
cloud
so
anymore.
just go like that. Oakville, they're going to attack you first.
Let's do it.
All right, I need more dice. Oh, these dice have hurt me before, but I need them.
Do you
Okay.
get any like opportunity attacks for them?
Oh yeah, everything goes within 10 feet of me, so one of them.
Is it when they go within 10 feet or when they
This one.
enter within 10
within-
feet and exit your range? Because you get the polearm attack, I know, in 10 feet. But I think it has to leave your range to utilize Sentinel, I thought.
Hold on.
Creature with an opportunity attack.
Do that. I'll make the attacks against Brenna first.
Where is
Brenna, the first one swings at you. 2 strong strikes. Give me a second
To the
here.
reach you have
That is
to
going to
get.
be
Yeah,
a
yeah, so that's
22 and a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
So it's when they enter.
rough.
Though.
Huh?
Sentinel
It's
gives you
Polo Master. Whenever
They provoke opportunity attacks when they enter the reach you have with your
Okay, yeah,
weapons.
so you can take an opportunity attack. No worries.
Cool.
Brenna, you are taking, from the first attack, 14 points of slashing damage,
And then
followed immediately after by 11 points of force damage.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The second one,
Barbarian, I'm fine. Wait, I'm gonna pause you for a second because I'd like to use my reaction when I
Sure.
took that damage to
Yeah.
re-roll on the wild magic table, hoping for the Misty Step.
Yes.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
All right, before
You
this...
do take the 10 it's a multi-attack, so you take the
Yeah, no, I know, but before the other guy attacks,
Sure, yeah.
I teleport away.
Nice.
So that second strike, just so you know, is 13 points of damage plus an additional 5 points of force damage. Because it's a multi-attack. That's 2 attacks from the one guy. You are not taking the 2 attacks from the other.
Right, so the 2 damages that you said before, I was like, okay, wait, now stop, because I'm going to use my reaction. Those I took,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. So
Let's see, where am I going?
that is the ones on you. What was your attack of opportunity, Oakfeld?
It was an 18.
18 hits.
Nice.
I'll just like pop back here. Whoops. Oh no.
Everybody
And,
dies.
yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm gonna go for it again. I just wanted to get out of the range.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
It's a very lucky roll.
Luck is in our favor.
That's like the whole thing you want. You want Misty Step. Like,
Yeah.
oh, perfect.
12 damage.
I always
12
hope for the Misty
damage.
Step
Oh,
one.
wait,
then.
where are you? 12
Oh, my
damage.
turn. I can do it again. As
The
opposed
skeleton
to,
that looked
like,
really
go
hurt,
and hit him and
as it steps towards you, you take the polearm and thrust it out. It like, and then just dies on your staff. You fling it to the ground. Yeah.
Going for the ground.
Fantastic. Oakfeld, you're still taking attacks from 2 of them.
Let's do it.
First ones are going to be, that's a D12. One's natural 20.
Nice.
The other one's going to be a 19. The natural 20 definitely hits. The 19
I have 19 AC, so.
19 hits.
Alright.
So first, you are I'll do the non-natural. Oh, actually, the natural was rolled first, so I'll roll that first.
This is the second natural 20.
I know, right? I'm like the anti.
Look at how excited you are.
This never happens to me, okay? You were going to take 18 points of slashing damage, followed immediately by 20 points of force damage. The second skeleton's going to make its attacks. I know crits with this, because so the way this works, it is based off of like a real psionic rule for a character class. And it's so cool because this hit happens, and then the second hit, part of the same attack, but different source of damage. So double concentration checks. Oh, nasty. Anyways, oops. It is going to be 23 to hit, and this is a 6 or a 9, and a 12 to hit. 23 hits.
Yep.
Okay, Oakfeld, you are going to take an additional 11 points of slashing damage, followed immediately by 3 more points of force damage. These skeletons now kind of finding somebody they can actually attack. Everybody else fading out of sight. They're just kind of tearing into you again. Kind of like grabbing onto you, trying to yank the plant mass towards them. That is the foe's turn. However, Brenna, what would you like to do? In Oakfeld, you are on deck.
All right. Charge him back in.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna attack, I guess, the same one that, I think it's this one, the one who I've been attacking previously.
Sure. So you kind of raise up your axe, and as you begin to take a step forward, you disappear, reappear 20 feet later, charging forwards, gaining even more momentum. Make your attack rolls.
So good. Oh no. Let's see. That's a 7.
A 7, that's going to miss.
We're gonna go ahead and
You
do
kind of throw your aim off as you're now 20 feet off and kind of miss.
not used
going
to
by
Misty
them.
stepping
Yeah.
like blah. All right, try again. That's an 8.
An 8? An 8 misses too, unfortunately.
Yep, and then as a bonus action, I'm gonna Misty step out of there again.
Phenomenal. So you kind of miss again, and the second axe, as you go up, Misty Step. 20 feet away, you miss with a swing.
Since I can fly, can I Misty step too, like up in the air?
How to read Misty Step? Because that's important.
You teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect on each of your turns.
It's unoccupied, so you certainly can.
Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of hover up here then. since
Sure.
it's already there.
Fantastic. You kind of appear there, swinging with the axe and spinning end over end before coming upright. Fantastic. That is your turn. Oakfeld, what would you like to do? Akka, you're on deck.
I'm gonna 4th level cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Awesome. All right.
2 plus 3. 14, yep.
As you cast Cure Wounds
Plus 3.
around the base of your plant-like structure through the sands, little springs of grass up and around, and you feel this warmth from the earth itself, like the sun being pulled in, drift into you and heal your wounds.
Nice. And I am going to bonus action turn invisible.
Awesome. So you do that, these little blades of grass rising up, and then suddenly just grass. That's slowly sinking into the sand because it's not stable.
And I'm going to move. Yeah, right around there.
Okay. Okay, cool. Fantastic. Anything else, Oakfeld?
That's it.
Alrighty. Akka, what would you like to do? Eleanor, you're on deck.
Pretty upset.
You said it, yeah.
As per usual.
So you're Akka.
Think I'm gonna start with the good old angry shatter on these two guys.
Fantastic. So you cast Shatter. That's a deck save? con
I
save?
believe it's a con save.
Okay.
Let me just confirm that for you.
Well, one at a natural 20. That's a success, but one certainly failed. That's a third natural 20 this fight.
So that's 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save or half on a successful.
Awesome. Roll that damage.
Oh, sick.
Ooh, alright. 17 thunder damage?
That's the full roll?
Yes.
Okay, so one takes 17, the other takes 9? No, that's for 18. 8.
And then I'm going to angrily turn to the other two and shatter them as well.
So you hasted. You're using Shatter as... Oh, because you have it stored in the... Nice. Dope. Sure. So you kind of like Iron Man style, both hands out.
No, it's just
kind
the
of
one
just
hand.
one. Oh, just
Yeah,
one.
because
Fair
it's the
enough.
cursed hand. It's coming from the
so
cursed hand.
from this cursed hand, go ahead and make that attack. Oh, sorry.
DC 20.
Okay, one is going to pass with a 23. The other one is going to fail with a 5. They rolled, pretty much opposite ends of the spectrum.
16 points of thunder damage.
So the other two, 1 second.
And for
The
the
success is
for
going
the
to
one who failed, I believe I'm going to imbue that one with the other d6 of psionic damage.
Go ahead and roll that damage. That's
Energy die.
super handy for you.
That's 9.
So again, as you first kind of cast this, you can see the shatter and the bones rattle. You see one almost shattered apart, and you kind of twist, and it explodes. You can remove one of those from the battlefield.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna shove one of these, angry shove this guy forward into these rocks here.
Okay, yeah, again, yanking this guy.
So he's got to make a strength save.
Okay. That's going to be a 10.
That's a miss.
Yeah.
Well, I
Gets
guess
pulled
that's
right in. Roll a d6 for me.
Not miss. 3.
3. Again, kind of trips. Just kind of steps over. But, every bit counts.
And I guess I'm gonna kind of like slowly make my way, well, as slowly as I can, being hasted back. Now I'm just like, 3 to 2 feet off the ground.
Okay, so you just kind of drift back down a little bit. That is your turn. Akka, Eleanor, what would you like to do? Shay, you are on deck.
So I'm gonna attack the skeleton here.
Okay, fantastic.
Which
So
I
up
think
from
is
the top.
the one that Brenna was not attacking.
Correct.
Correct. The least damaged on the battlefield
Yeah.
of the two, yeah.
I'm gonna focus on him. For my
Okay.
bonus action, call my rapier, and nice. So that is a 28.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Just a little. Just a
Just a
tip.
little. Alright, so that's 10 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my action to point at the other one and then try to use panache on that one to see if it'll work.
Sure.
Basically, once again, just be like, it's a 1v1. Reliable talent. So that is a total of 25.
25. All right. 1 second here. And that's a charm effect, correct?
No, it's
Oh.
only charmed if it's not hostile. If it is
Gotcha.
hostile, it just gets disadvantage. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what do you say?
I point at it and I'm like, "It's you and me, deadass." And then go from there.
Turns to kind of lumber towards you. Fantastic. Seems to have had an effect.
Deadass is such a delightful insult.
I
to
know,
a
right?
skeleton.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's phenomenal. Well done. Okay. Anything else, Eleanor?
No.
Awesome.
I'm
Shay,
gonna stay where I am.
you're up.
Repeat, except the one that's the least hurt is taking my last hit and a flurry of blows.
Oh, awesome. So go towards the one in the far corner. That's the most hurt, so she's going to go there first. Go ahead and make your first attack.
That is a 27.
27 hits.
8.
8 points of damage. All right. That skeleton kind of hisses as you go. Badly hurt, but still up.
Oh.
You streak around to the other side, seeing this other remaining skeleton.
That is a 25.
25 hits.
Math is hard.
It is.
12.
12. Nice. So you strike that one again. It turns to face you. Anything else?
Is that how many are left?
Just the two.
There's
Cool.
3, right? Oh no, that's it.
No, only two up.
It's total 3, yeah.
Cool, that last one's taking 3 more.
There you go.
Plus 16?
16 to hit?
Yeah.
That just misses. Wow, Shay missed an attack.
I know. 24.
24 hits.
13?
Nice.
I'll get 28.
28 hits again, yeah.
7.
Again and again and again, you kind of hit this one, you see it resist and turn to you, so you just Ip Man style pummel it with blows. This half plate armor kind of bending in, and you hear the bone underneath the armor snap as the metal becomes almost a wedge into its sternum, but it is still up.
So close. And then
Alright.
back where I started.
Fantastic.
Okay, so since it took attack from someone who was not me, the
Yeah.
panache does end.
Okay, so it still seems like it kind of follows Shay for a second, kind of looking around, gone. So probably still focused on you regardless. However, it is their turn. The one that is far kind of away from everybody is going to back up 15 feet. Yep, this one, and then run 10 feet forward and leap over that rock to land right there, and then it's going to dash over to you, Aka. And then the other one,
I get an opportunity attack.
yeah, go ahead and make it. The other one is going to strike.
It's hurt already.
9 plus 9, 18.
Nice.
18
Nines
hits,
like
yeah.
every
Yeah, I
time.
know, it's ridiculous. Is that hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just seeing that somebody pulled out an oak felt instead of a skeleton, so there are 3 skeletons on the floor. But no worries, no worries.
I think this one was the
That isn't-
Oakfell.
I think
Or-
Oakfeld.
Oakfell?
Isn't this Oakfell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Oakfeld
me,
over
Oakfell.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, I just couldn't see
Yeah,
Oakfeld.
yeah.
So actually, I believe you forgot. There's a skeleton over there that shouldn't be there.
Oh,
There's
this
only
one.
2 left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I
okay.
was asking you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Missed that.
I have the stats down, but I couldn't see the 2 skeletons there. I see
Two
silhouettes with the light right there.
Plus
It's because of the light behind it. I can't see
Oh.
anything.
It's all just
Oh, okay.
shapes.
What's that damage?
8. Yeah, it's
8 damage.
Oh, wait, no, plus 4.
So 12?
Yeah.
You strike as it goes by, and like you shatter the rib cage. The only thing holding this aloft, the heavy metal armor, is the spine. It's like a string, and you see it list. And every time it moves, you hear the of it like almost cracking. This thing is almost dead again. However, it does manage to close. Akka, you're only drifting 3 feet off the ground, so it will get 2 attacks against you. That's going to be a 12 and a 15. So those are not going to hit. The other guy is going to, I guess, kind of run towards you, Akka. So taking this, 5 forward and over there. 2 strikes against you. That is going to be a 16 and a 25.
that one just hits.
Nice. Oh, emojis. That is going to be 10 points of slashing damage plus.
Reaction.
Okay. 11 points of force damage.
I'm going to get D6 plus 5 of that taken away.
Sure.
With my psionic power protected field.
Go for it.
Minus 7 of that damage.
Okay, so instead of 21 points of damage, you are taking 14.
Okay.
This field kind of going out, the second blade kind of almost hesitates before it hits, reducing the damage. That is their turn. That brings us to Brenna. What would you like to do?
All right. I'm gonna fly down here.
Okay.
And just hit him.
Okay, you
what I do.
leap with the axe overhead. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
10 to hit.
10 misses.
It is very uncool.
You leap and you go way too far, just kind of missing completely. You can't even swing at it. You have to like pull your axe away and just do everything you can to kind of catch yourself with your winged sandals.
I'm gonna hit him again.
Yeah.
All right, this time that's a 21 to hit.
21 definitely
That's
hits.
a
Yeah.
little better. 9 plus 3 is 12 damage.
Okay. Let me see, where is this guy? So you leap. Wait. Oh, okay, close. You leap with this axe held high. You know you're going to miss. So as you go by, you swing with the backhand and like cleave the head clean off. The head poof, hits a stone and rattles down. The bones crumble. That one is dead.
Oh, that's just delightful.
Anything else, Brenna?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm just gonna for sheer intimidation factor and nothing else, I'm gonna Misty Step to here.
Okay, fantastic. You kind of land, cutting the head off, and then suddenly you take one step backwards, poof, kind of gone, and you poof, reappear, taking a step forwards towards the skeleton, or towards the kind of group in general. But awesome job. Brenna Oakfeld, you are up. So before you roll, let me know what you're going to do.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to attack.
Okay, yeah,
Finish
make
him
your
right
attacks.
off.
Absolutely, yeah.
20.
20?
Yeah.
You have 1 hit point left.
Yeah.
Tell us how it happens. You see him drifting in front of you, just the spine holding him up.
I'm going to call out to the Green Matron.
Okay?
Green Matron! Green Matron!
Nothing seems to happen.
And I was just going to shove the spear right into him.
Okay. You shove the spear in, the spine snaps in half, and this thing crumbles into dust. And as the bones fall, suddenly again through the sand, these vines twist up and around and grab each piece and slowly pull the bones down beneath the sand.
As I'm doing that, I'm slowly just yelling, Green Matron, and then it just becomes like a whisper, Green Matron.
I'm angrily throwing a shatter into this rock.
Okay. The rock
I kind
splinters.
of like go up against him, just like, damn!
This is like the Iron Man hand that it just
Yeah.
reverberates and right through. Fantastic. But you are all out of initiative.
Nice.
Well done. You survived. Suddenly, as you kind of take this in, letting this adrenaline die down a little bit, you listen, and you hear no more skeleton screeching. This fog kind of slowly fades into the sand. Once more, you are alone. The dark cavern around you. Eleanor, you still have your torch?
Yep.
Yep. Still holding the torch, getting little flickers off the ceiling, the walls, the stones. All of you, what would you like to do? You now.
Damn it.
Let haste drop and
Yeah.
right up
I
after effects.
dehaste and kind of just like crumble down a bit, exhausted for the 6 seconds of exhaustion, and then a little longer after that, just like,
Eleanor's gonna go over to Brenna and Oakfield and be like, "Are you guys all right?
I'm going to
These were quite the hit."
fall to my knees and just keep muttering, Green Matron. Green Matron.
Make an intelligence saving throw.
10 plus 0.
Nice. You see, as you fall to the ground in front of you, a tiny, tiny little bloom, like a daffodil in the sand. Almost as if to tell you, do not give up hope, Oakfeld. And then it disappears.
And I'm just going to produce a daffodil in my hand and whisper, Green Matron.
Oakfeld.
Are you both all right?
Brenna kind of like tries to put on a brave face, but she's like, I'm fine. And then, but she does that thing where like, if you've got like a broken rib, you're like, oh, yep, I'm good, I'm okay.
She goes to take a step, the leg doesn't support her weight.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm fine.
Nope, I'm good. That was so much fun.
Should we rest? I have a healing potion as well.
I mean, I guess if you want to rest, that would be fine.
We should keep
Brenna
moving
collapses
if we
when
can.
she says that.
No, I mean, I have a potion too. Like,
Yeah.
We should
I
keep
can,
moving
if we need to move, then I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I can
I'm
also
gonna-
heal.
I didn't
Go
want to
ahead
bother
and-
you,
I'm
but.
gonna go ahead and like throw a cure wounds. Throw a cure wounds your way. Think a little.
Thank you. Do you
So
want me
in
to
the
roll
air,
for it, or?
in the air, it makes this beautiful kind of calligraphy, and then it kind of drifts towards you like a ribbon. And you watch as it gracefully, kind of gently caresses the injuries, and you feel this healing power radiating out.
That's plus. Do you get the +2 to this as well?
Is it an
For the
artificer
healing?
spell?
Yes.
I think it's damage rolls, but give me 1 sec. Let me check. I'm gonna say right now no, but let me look.
Okay. Either way, it's gonna be 10 or 12.
Thank you.
Spell attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay.
So yeah, no.
So 10. We should keep moving. I say, pretty dejected. Start making my way further in.
Okay.
Brenna kind of like acts like, oh, thank you, that was so good. And as soon as Akka turns away, she pulls a healing potion out of her pocket and like also drinks that.
Fantastic.
Which I think is 2d4 plus 4 is just a regular one.
For a regular healing,
Yeah.
healing potion, I think it's 1d4 plus 4. I'm gonna look.
I have one regular healing potion in my inventory.
Yeah, they're not. The regular healing potions are pretty good. Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
Thank you.
That's something. Your dice hate you today.
My
I'm
dice
so
hate
sorry.
me. No, it's fine. We're up above 60. That's what matters.
Have you like melted dice down in your life, or like is he mad at you? As, like, a
I
species?
took the Dice's
What
father's
did you
job at the
do to
factory.
That happens sometimes, yeah. So you chug this healing potion, and as you do, every gulp seems to restore you a little bit. You see Akka kind of beginning to walk down
Following
this
behind
tunnel.
Akko.
Shay joins.
Alright. I'm gonna start following behind as well. And then I also show Brenna that I have another healing potion. It's like, you know, if you need it, you can take it.
I think I
have
might just
have
take you up
backup.
on that, actually, because it seems like we're not going to short rest
So,
anytime soon.
Yeah, I pass her the superior healing potion.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm keeping the scarab for myself.
Yeah,
How
that's
many
fine.
is superior? Is it 4?
I think it's 4.
Plus
I believe
Superior? No, no, no.
Is
That's
it 8?
8d4.
8d4.
Plus 8 hit
We're
points,
using
yeah.
an app for this one. Thank you.
So you begin to drink that as you walk to Brenna. Oakfell, what are you
yes.
doing?
I'm going to believe in my heart that the Green Matron was here, and that everyone around me is just a non-believer.
Sure.
And I'm going to summon the spirits around me, but by casting Spirit Guardians. But
Sure.
the way I want to flavor it is more of not like actual spirits,
Yeah.
but more of like just like any nature that I can like just gather forth around me, any like plants or life that can probably sprout out will just like come up.
Butterflies and the Princess Mononoke spirits. in the
Yeah.
trees. Ooh.
So
Yeah,
you
just, like, do, like, a little
concentrate,
head thing.
and as you cast Spiritual Guardian, it takes a moment, almost like a magical constipation, if you will. And you realize it's because though the life does make its way to you, it is deep within the ground. You see suddenly from the sand little bits of shaking and tiny bugs begin to emerge from the walls, everything. And as if by magic, they grow wings, begin to rise up, and you have this swarm of strange, generally not winged insects, suddenly with wings, colliding into each other, it's like hitting the wall. They haven't really mastered the flight yet, but by magic, you kind of yank them back into the swarm.
Eleanor goes to, like, pat Ophelia on the shoulder and be like, good job. And then, like, the bug starts like, ugh.
Yeah. like
Probably just hear
centipedes.
the
Yeah.
flying.
buzzing and like don't even bother. I'll come back. I'm just like, still so pissed.
Yeah.
Like you did well, Oakfield.
So you walk. 5 minutes goes by. 10 minutes goes by, and you realize you're heading up. No longer sticking to the Underdark. You're not sure how much time has gone by, but you do begin to feel a little bit on the edges of tired. Should you progress for another 2 or 3 hours, probably you're looking at exhaustion. And right as you get into that first hour, you begin to notice the floor and the walls change. Carved sandstone, the ceiling lower, sized more for a medium-sized creature. Nothing here built by giants. You climb this little incline in the path, and looking down, it is certainly a path. Squared hallways, still kind of rough-hewn floor, but more even than it has been. You ascend maybe 15 feet and see beyond a room. Daylight, or not daylight, actually starlight, is kind of falling down here. You see, kind of hearing actually more beyond, the sound of grinding, swishing. You hear something clump. And as you begin to kind of emerge into the first floor of this temple, because it is close to midnight, this is where we're going to end for the evening. So, thank you guys so much for joining us to Adventures in Alberon, session 101. Is everybody back next week? Fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll see you Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for session 102, but prior to that, on Thursday at 6 p.m., you can join us for session 4, Mosaic Team 5, a Starfared a Starfinder adventure, space western, space opera, very much in the theme of Cowboy Bebop, kind of smashed together with
Space Band.
Firefly.
yeah, all different kinds of genres. If you're familiar with Mission to Zix, a lot of inspiration there. But it is dangerous. Please stay safe out there. We'll see you next week.